fm.com. And now, let's go to the field for Emory and Henry football. Here are your hosts, Josh Floyd and Gary Lester.
And a pleasant good afternoon to you, and welcome to Emory and Henry College football, 90.7 WEHC, the voice of Southwest Virginia. Today we join you just above the Lou Wacker Grandstand and overlooking Fred Self Athletic Stadium's Nice Water Field for today's season finale featuring the host Wasps taking on their rivals just up the road in the Panthers from Ferrum College. Once again, I'm Josh Floyd, your always friendly play-by-play guy, taking you through the final Saturday afternoon of riveting Emory and Henry College football for this 2021 season. To my right, he's Thanksgiving food calorie counter, relentless fall leaf raker, and keys to the game host. Of course, we're talking about Gary Lester. And Gary, this is the final stop for the 21 season, but quite the monumental stop. The Division III GPS has brought us to the last destination before recalculating to a new and exciting Division II world. It's really started to hit home over the past few weeks with the culmination of countless and familiar ODAC foes. Today is no exception to that. And the Wasps are trying to cap off their Division III journey with one more win today. But on the other side, Gary, there's a Panther team which would like nothing more than to be the squad on that trivia card that delivered the final Division III setback against those Wasps.
Well, they would, and they're plenty capable of it too, Josh. And we should have a really good football game here today at the Crooked Road Classic, and also it's senior day here at Emory and Henry College. These seniors will be making their last appearance in organized football for many of them, most of them. And for most of them, Josh, it's been a 10 or year longer journey to get here, if you count all the, years of playing football. And it's a day that is a little bit of relief if you're a senior and you feel, oh boy, the grind is over. But, when those last few seconds start to tick off that clock today, it's going to be some sadness. And the main sadness is going to be the parents and grandparents that have been so supportive of these young men all these years. And I don't know if people realize just how much it takes to support these young men to get them to this point. But it can be a long journey, and it can be one that is filled with happiness, but there are also some tough times in it, and we've experienced those this year with these last-second field goals. So it's a solemn day. It brings back a lot of memories for me, and great memories, and I hope it does for these young men who are playing their final game for the Wasps today, because it is a great tribute to them and all the work that they've done, and I just wish them the very best. And then speaking of the very best, one of the things that we're going to talk a lot about today is Mr. Devonte Jordan. He kind of burst onto the scene here at Emory and Henry College. He was back up behind Overstreet last year. He got to play a little bit, but now he's the guy. He's the man, and he's had an outstanding season. But a sad note for him, he has decided not to return next year. He is not going to come back to Emory. He's decided that with the season that he has had and with the circumstances and a lot of conversations with Coach Newsom, that it's best for him to move on, and he wants to try and take a shot at the next level. He feels like that his record, and we're going to talk about those records today, set him up well for the pro scouts to be taking a look at him, and he's going to try to go to some workouts and to see if he can get a chance at the very next level. And I think he may very well, because he's set so many – he's set 3 records here already, 4, and he's got a chance to set 2 more. And he leads the nation in 6 categories, in the rushing categories and scoring. So that's bound to get some people's attention. But boy, oh boy, I hate to see him go, and I know you do too, because he is he's been quite exciting this whole year.
And certainly I understand the decision. Gosh, good luck to him. I'd love to see him get to the next level, and certainly he's with the stats that he's had this year, Gary. Certainly I could see that. So we wish him all the best in that journey. But Gary, going back to last week, boy, Wasps just needed about 5 or 6 minutes in that one, and that was pretty much over last week. Wasps eventually were up 52-0 in that one at halftime. They pulled back on the accelerator probably halfway during the second quarter, and still Jordan and those guys had great days, but they really didn't even play a half in that one. So really you'd love to see that today. Honestly, you're going to have a much more difficult task today in doing that, but finally a little bit of balance again last week.
Yeah, it was a really good balance, and you're right. They came out. They were shot out of a cannon, it looked like, and we talk about a blitzkrieg here. In the first 47 seconds, Devonte Jordan went into that game with 8 straight games with 100 yards or more, and he needed one more to break the record with 9. It took him 47 seconds to do it because in 3 carries, he gained 106 yards, scored 2 touchdowns, and there were still 14 minutes and 13 seconds left in the first quarter. So he did not play the whole game. He was taken out at the 5-minute mark. But he ended the day with 16 carries, 198 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 1 touchdown by reception of pass from Kyle Short, and he scored 36 of the Wasps' first 52 points. I mean, but like you say, it's a tougher game today. This is a much better defense he'll be facing today, but that's the kind of explosiveness Devonte Jordan brings to the game. And it was a really good balance because Kyle Short had a good game at quarterback, and they all left the game with 5 minutes left in the first half. And the second unit came in, I thought, and did a very good job as well.
Yeah, did. They certainly did.
But, on the other side of the ball, we've talked a lot about Devonte, and he deserves all the recognition that we've given him. But on the other side of the ball, this Emory Henry defense also deserves some recognition because they have had a heck of a season. There's some places where they've not played so well. The Bluefield game was probably one of them. But if you look at this defense and compare it to the ODAC defenses, they're going to be number 1, number 2, or number 3 in a lot of defensive categories. And when they're a number 2 or a number 3, the teams that are ahead of them defensively are the 2 8-1 football teams, Randolph-Macon and W&L, in the ODAC. So those are some pretty lofty numbers, but they're number 1 in pass defense, giving up only 141 yards a game. They're number 3 in rushing defense, giving up 121, and they're second in interceptions, and they're third in total yards. So those are some pretty lofty numbers for this defense. And I think we need to talk about them some because they've kept us in several games.
Absolutely. Great year for those guys.
But now they're facing a team today that could have their very best record in the ODAC. If the Ferrum Panthers win today, they'll be 7-3, and that is a big step for them because they have not had that much success in the ODAC since coming into it. And Cleve Adams, and I know you got to talk with him, he's a big reason for that success.
Yeah, the first full season, Cleve Adams comes home to his alma mater. I know he felt the same way, I'm sure, that Kurt Newsom did when you come back to your alma mater and coach. His first full season, second season, if you look at it with the shortened spring, they were 2-3 in the shortened spring, but right now 6-3 on the year. They're going to have the most ever wins in the ODAC since they joined it in 2018. They have had 8 and 7 wins previously, but that's when they were members of the USA South. And Cleve Adams, I tell you, he is most deserving of this position. He turned Averett around. He was 26-14 there the last 4 seasons. He has been an assistant coach and defensive coordinator at Ferrum. And then, of course, he played for under the legendary Hank Norton in the late 1980s. Ferrum had some fantastic teams. They went to the national semifinals 2 years, had some great games with Lou Wacker and Emory, and he understands this game, and the significance of it. I had a chance to talk with him in that, and he said, my first memory at Emory and Henry, he says, I was a young buck, my first start. He goes, the first play I got cut blocked, and he goes, and that threw me for a loop. But he said he always knows that this is an intense rivalry, and he said you knew as a player that it was an important game. And he looks at this and says, as an alum, this is a big deal for him. He comes back as the head coach. He said he's something he never thought he would be able to see. He says he feels blessed every day. He knows what Ferrum football means to so many people. He comes into work into the Hank Norton Center, as it is named.
Yes.
So very much apropos and certainly makes sense in so many different ways. He says he's honored to be in the role, and he says, my goal is to make our alumni family proud and to keep Coach Norton's legacy moving. And when you go 6-3 in the ODAC and you're holding your own and had a chance to beat Washington and Lee last week and lost in the last few minutes, then you are following through on that. And I think the sky is the limit for this Panther football team. And with Coach Adams, I think they've got the right guy in the right spot. And, Gary, you and I have said this. I would not be surprised in a year or two to see Ferrum winning this ODAC. They have come a long ways. They are very, very good. We're going to talk a lot about how they have they've blossomed since this move, and they've really taken the next step this year. I really think they have.
Well, I think so, too, and I agree wholeheartedly that they will be a contender in the ODAC, if not next year, soon. And I think the Sydneys and Macons and W&Ls of the world are going to dread going down to Rocky Mount.
Absolutely. Now, Gary, coming back to you, last week we were talking about the third quarter. Well, It was 52-0 by the time we got to the third quarter, so we didn't have to worry about that. But that's been the elephant in the room this year, the third quarter, and certainly it's not going to be 52-0 here in the third quarter today. That's got to be something that Coach Newsom and his staff have got to be focused on, right?
Yeah, boy, that is a head-scratcher for the coaching staff, particularly Coach Newsom. What are we doing that we can't come out of the locker room at halftime? But it's really basically on one side of the ball, Josh. It's on the offensive side. You take the Guilford game out, which, they, like I say, they did not really play a third quarter down there with their starters. But they have only scored 17 points in the 6 games if you take out the Guilford game in the last 6 games, which is really about a field goal, 3.4 points per quarter in those 6 games. That's a field goal. That's what they're averaging, the offense. And I won't go into the weeds with the numbers, but if you look at their offensive production in yards and passing and so forth, they're pretty bad too. And what that's done, and I mentioned how great this defense has been, it's put the defense out here a lot. And it's put them out here in bad situations where they've had poor field position. And we came out at Macon down 24-14. First thing we do is fumble, and we got the defense out there on the 1-yard line trying to stop Macon from going up 31-14, and thank goodness the defense did. But that's the kind of thing that the defense has had to do all year because the offense just cannot seem to keep it going in that third quarter. They've had good first and second quarters. The second quarter against W&L is probably the best quarter offensively they've had this year. They come out in the third quarter, and they're nowhere to be found. So this is a thing that they've got to solve. And, boy, you talk about solving it. If they don't solve it before next year when you have to play the likes of Mars Hill and Lenore Ryan and Carson Newman and Catawba, things will get ugly.
Yeah, they will. And today, it's going to be a different wrinkle is, the Wasps have really tried last few weeks. It's been the running attacks that they've tried to slow down, especially with the Washington and Lees. But today, their secondary is definitely going to be put to the task today. They're going to have to face senior quarterback Titus Jones. He's number 1 in the league, 64% on completions. He's thrown for almost 2,300 yards, leads the league with 22 touchdowns in a league that has Hampton, Sydney, and Shenandoah, and just has 4 interceptions as well. Also, he's got 320 rushing yards, Gary. So I think, number one goal of this goal for Coach Buzzo, you got to stop number 3 today.
Yeah, you definitely got to. You've got to plan your defense to stop him and make them try to beat you with the ground game, which I don't think they can do. But this Titus Jones, interestingly enough, Newsom tried to get him here very hard. He recruited him very hard, but could not pull him away from Ferrum. This guy has been able to throw against man coverages, zone coverages. In fact, when he has faced the zone coverages, and we're going to see some of that today, those have been his best games. He has thrown for over 300 yards against Macon and Sydney and W&L, and those are the ones who tried to play a zone defense on him. And what happens is you want to play a zone because it can run so well, but you give too much cushion.
Yep.
And he can extend the plays so long that that cushion becomes monumental. The teams he's done the worst against were Bridgewater early in the season and Christopher Newport, and they played a kind of a hybrid defense. What I mean by that is it'd be man-to-man underneath and have safeties and possibly a middle linebacker in the middle field as a robber and zone coverages. And so that's what Buzzo is going to play today, and he's going to try and use this hybrid defense and see if they can't slow this juggernaut of a quarterback down. But what that does do, and the reason he can do this, I think, is because you have to have a dominant front 4, and that's what we have here with this bunch. I'm telling you, Coach Newsom, if you ask him what it is that's made his defense so successful, he'll say every time it's that front 4. And the Wasps do have a dominant front 4 today, so that gives Buzzo the opportunity to use his linebackers more in the coverages and leave that front 4 to stop the run. They're only giving up 121 yards a game rushing, so they're pretty capable of doing that, and that's what they're going to try to stop this quarterback with. But then, Josh, the other side, and you mentioned this, he has 320 some yards of rushing. He has rushed the ball for 102 times this season, and to give you some idea of how much that is, his first-string running back has only run the ball 76 times. And if you take the quarterbacks from W&L, they've got 2 that have started this year, they've rushed 112 times. Well, he's rushed 10-plus times than W&L. So, that's the kind of runner he is. And because he can run, if you play man-to-man on him, you're turning your back to him, and you don't see him, and he runs. He may be 10, 15 yards down the field before you ever know it.
Right.
And so it's difficult to play a man. You better have some zone in there. So this hybrid, I think, is going to be the key today, and we'll see if we can slow him down a little bit. But I'm telling you, they've got to keep pressure on him, and they've got to stay in their lanes because he will take off with the ball in a heartbeat. So he's something to watch and should be an exciting day today. As you said, he leads several statistics in the ODAC. But, it's not a one-man show. You got to have somebody out there to throw it to, and I think he has some targets that he is pretty fond of throwing the ball to.
Oh, yeah. You defend number 3, and you've got number 1 out there as well, making receptions, and that's the sophomore Tamate Penn. Second in the league right now, 41 catches, 844 yards on the season, 10 touchdowns, and that leads the ODAC. And again, when you're talking about this pass-happy league, this is not your father's Ferrum team. This isn't your triple option, run the ball 45, 50 times a game. They will air it out, and, boy, they have been doing a good job of that today. So Penn is going to be one of the big receivers in this group today. They've got senior Daniel Lamb, who's 11th in the league at 310 yards with 3 touchdowns. And then they've also got another receiver as well in Nick Cook, another senior he's 13th in the league at 281 yards. So 3 of the top 13 receivers in the ODAC will be on the other side today for this Ferrum team. So guess what? Jones can run it, but you know what? When he drops back, he's got 3 guys out there that can get the first downs, and most importantly, they've been able to break plays all year, which has put this Ferrum team in a really good situation. And I asked Coach Adams about, that these guys coming out of camp, he said he knew since the spring that we had 2 special players. Coach Adams says it took some time to get settled, with changing leadership and staff changes.
Always.
But he knew the talent was there with those 2 young men. He says it took some time with developing chemistry and execution, but he was fully confident that they were going to be special productivity-wise. And this Ferrum team, yes, they were bounced out of the ODAC race, but last week Coach Adams and really thought they should have won against in Lexington. And he said moral victories don't sit well with him. He said he went in expecting to win. He said we went to Lexington saying that we were going to win that ball game. Got a good effort out of their defense, but since first half offensively they sort of shot themselves in the foot. He took his hat off to W&L, and gosh, this resonated with me. He said W&L will hunt and peck at you looking for a weakness, and he said they found a formation that worked. He said we put on a great show, but he was very disappointed in that loss last week, and we were looking at that game back and forth. It was a back-and-forth game in the fourth quarter in that one. So tell you what, this Panther team is for real. They are going to give a lot of challenges out there today offensively. Certainly defensively is an area that they've needed to work on. They're towards the bottom of the league in defense. Last week they got a great effort, but offense was just not there. And I know, Gary, you've talked to Coach Newsome. You've talked about the concerns with containing Jones and third quarter, and good relationship between he and Coach Adams. A lot to think about this week.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot to think about. And Cleve Adams, one of the first people he called when he took the job at Ferrum, was Coach Newsome. They are old friends. They have never coached together, but they are old friends, and he was one of the first persons that he called to talk about what it's like to be in the ODAC and taking over the Ferrum job. But Coach Newsome, in the conversation we had this past week in Keys to the game, he's very concerned about this quarterback. He is a playmaker, and he's a difference maker. He's somebody that he tried to get here at Emory but just couldn't get him away from Ferrum, and you can kind of see why he would want him so much. Another thing about today in the front 4, we talked about that earlier, Swagheimer will not be playing due to concussion protocol, so he's out. So we're a little bit thin on that front 4, and that's a real concern for the coach. But we also talked about this third quarter, which we mentioned earlier, Josh, and he's really struggling to figure out what he can do with this offense to, get them to come out of the chute after halftime, because when the Wasps win the toss, they're always going to defer so they can get the ball first in the second half. But what's happened is we've not had very much productivity out of that offense, so might want to rethink that strategy. He also talked a little bit this week about how grateful he is for the type of person that Devonte Jordan is, and how much he's going to miss him. but he also thinks it's an absolute right move, and he thinks he does have a shot at the next level.
I do too.
And he also talked about the fact if not the next level here, the Canadian League. You know, we had somebody go up to the Canadian League named Sonny Wade that won several Grey Cups up there, so it's not out of the question of him going to the Canadian League. So he's really sorry to see him leave, but and then finally we mentioned this, but he thinks Cleve Adams is a difference maker, and it's going to show at Ferrum. It's already showing, as you mentioned, they could have a 7-win season this year, first time in the ODAC that they've done that. So that's some of Mr. Newsom's thoughts for the day.
Well, we have the Emory and Henry band on the field. They're joined by several high school band members today. It's
Wow.
a big band out there on the field right now. We're going to go to the starting lineups first for the visiting Panthers from Ferrum College, led by second-year season head coach Cleve Adams. They'll start. We've talked about him a lot. Number 3, the senior Titus Jones, 6 foot, 180 pounds, out of Reidsville, North Carolina. The running back will be the sophomore, number 27, Joshua Ellerby. Leads the team with 329 yards. He's 5'11", 170 out of Chirrar, South Carolina. The wideouts, a talented group of wide receivers. Number 1, Tamate Penn, the sophomore, 6'3", 185 out of Martinsville, Virginia. Number 9, the senior Nick Cook, 5'10", 185 out of Navarre, Florida. And number 11, the senior Daniel Lamb, 6'3", 185 out of Norfolk, Virginia. The tight end is the junior, number 82, Connor Sides. He's 6'2", 235 out of Bristow, Virginia. On the front line, left tackle is the sophomore, number 74, David Boston, 6'8", 240 out of Roanoke, Virginia. The left guard is number 50, Christian Sorrells, true freshman, 6'1", 255 out of Verona, Virginia. The center is the junior, number 57, Marquise Carter, 6 foot, 240 out of Danville, Virginia. The right guard is a junior, number 52, Jamon Reed. He's 6 foot, 280 out of Amelia, Virginia. And the right tackle is the senior, number 69, Daniel Mitchell, 6'4", 270 out of Fancy Gap, Virginia, and Carroll County High School. On the defensive side, the defensive linemen, they're led by number 1D, listed as 1D, but wearing number 1 on defense, the senior, Raymond Alexander, 6'2", 230 out of Victoria, Virginia. On the other side will be the sophomore, number 67, Will Hairston, 5'11", 250 out of Rocky Mount, Virginia. And the final lineman will be the senior, number 3, Dion Graham, 6'1", 285 out of Victoria, Virginia. The linebacking core led by the senior Billy Higgins, has 93 tackles. That's 5th in the ODAC. Number 7, he will wear number 7, 5'10", 210 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Number 0, Drew Hill, the junior, 5'11", 220, is out of Reiner, Virginia. 61 tackles on the year, 10th in the ODAC. Another junior defensive end linebacker is number 8, Rashawn Hairston, 6'1", 205 out of Hyattsville, Maryland. The other linebacker, the senior, number 15, Devin Hanson, 6'2", 220 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. The cornerbacks, one cornerback is a senior, number 6, Jakari Williams, 5'8", 175 out of Richmond. And the other true freshman, number 16, Keith Couch, 6'1", 170 out of Salem, Virginia. The strong safety is the freshman, number 20, Damon Dula, 6 foot, 185 out of Morganton, North Carolina. And the free safety is the junior, number 13, Raquan Payne, 6'1", 205 out of Prospect, Virginia. True freshman handling the place kicking and the punting today. The place kicking will be number 19, a freshman, Seth Deaton, 5'10", 170 out of Newport News. And the punter will be number 14, freshman Josh Luckett, 6'2", 175 out of Rocky Mount, Virginia. Titus Jones also does the holding. The kick returns will be number 0, Marcus Cutler, the sophomore out of Suffolk, Virginia, and number 5, Nashawn Green, the sophomore out of Amelia, Virginia. And rounding out the lineups, number 17, the punt returner, will be the senior Christian Caldwell, 5'8", 160 out of Landover, Maryland. That's the starting lineups for the Panthers. And with the starting lineup for Emory, here's Gary.
All right, thank you, Josh. And as we go through these, if we do come up against the national anthem or the invocation, we'll take a brief pause. But we'll start the defense today, Josh, since we've had offense first all season. As I said, James Weigheimer will not be in today's game due to an injury. So at the defensive ends, number 95, Jordan Might. He's a junior, 6'1", 200 out of Catlett, Virginia. The other defensive end is number 97, DeAndre Chambliss. He's a fifth-year senior out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 6 foot, 230 pounds. At the defensive tackles, number 93, Rashad Ellis, a junior out of Tappahannock, Virginia, 6'1", 270 pounds. And number 99, the always going Donovan Penix, his motor's always going. He's a senior out of Eden, North Carolina, 5'10", 240 pounds. At the linebackers, number 20, Brent Butler, senior out of Roanoke, Virginia. He's 5'8", 210. And the other linebacker, number 27, Ivan Phillips, a senior 6'1", 210 out of Kingsport, Tennessee. The cornerbacks, number 1, Jalen Crimes, has had a great season as a senior, 5'10", 165 pounds out of Sharps, Virginia. The other cornerback, number 3, Dalton Wilson, a senior out of Clinton, Tennessee, 5'11", 165 pounds. At the 2 strong safeties, number 5, TJ Tester, a junior out of Monette, Virginia, 5'9", 185 pounds. And the other, number 8, Zyquist Law, a senior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, 6'2", 190. And a free safety who's had a great season, number 35, Addison Nicely, a sophomore. He's 6'1", 170 out of Mount Crawford, Virginia.
And with that being said, we'll pause, and Gary will rejoin us with the offensive group and the special teams group. We'll take this 90-second timeout. You're listening to Emory and Henry College football on 90.7 WEHC, the voice of Southwest Virginia.
Let's go back down to the field now and rejoin Josh Floyd and Gary Lester as we get ready for kickoff. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thank you, Bill, and we're back here at the Fred Self Stadium, and we'll finish the lineups for Emory Henry Wass. The offense today at the tackle position, left tackle is number 63, Sean Watkins. He's a senior, 6'4", 250 out of Bristol, Virginia. The right tackle, number 79, Ricky Dotson. He is a junior, 6'7", 315 out of Front Royal, Virginia. The guards, number 57, O.P. Peterson, a senior, 310 pounds, 6'1", out of Forest, Virginia. The other guard, number 74, Will Moss, a sophomore, 6'2", 320 pounds, out of Marion, Virginia. And at center, number 72, Parker Coe, a senior, 6'3", 270 out of Withville, Virginia. At the junior, 6'2", 240 pounds out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. The wide receivers, number 17, Jamal Ford. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 180 out of District Heights, Maryland. Number 2, Kashawn Cozy, he's a senior, 5'4", 135 pounds out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And number 16, a fifth-year senior, Gunnar Griffith, playing his last game today for the Wasps, 5'11", 175 out of Bluff City, Tennessee. And running back, well, you all know who that is, number 23, Devonte Jordan, a senior out of Bassett, Virginia. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. And a quarterback, number 7, Kyle Short, a sophomore, 5'11", 185 pounds out of Lebanon, Ohio. And Josh, the special teams, the kickoffs, kickers, number 34, Cameron Jones out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. The punters, number 13, Ethan Muncie out of Bluff City, Tennessee. The holders, number 7, Kyle Short. The long snappers, number 69, Tyler Willis out of Rochelle, Virginia. And the kick return will be number 85, Jack Crumblish, and number 21, Joel Howard. And Joel Howard will also do the punt returns. And that's the Emory and Henry Wasp lineup.
Gary, I'll give you a quick break, and I'll go to the first couple of underwriters making this broadcast possible. Emory and Henry Football is brought to you with support from Tumbling Creek Cider Company, open daily in the Springhouse, 112 Court Street, Northeast Abingdon, and online at tumblingcreeksider.com. Tumbling Creek Cider Company is serving the spirit of our community, and we're also underwritten by Snow's Fine Meats and Provisions, open Tuesday through Saturday, and online at snowsfinemeats.com, 160 East Main Street, Abingdon.
And we're also brought to you by First Bank and Trust. They offer mobile banking, Apple Pay, remote deposits, and much, much more. They're serving you with free checking since 1979. They're a member of the FDIC, and you can visit them on the web at firstbank.com.
We're also underwritten by Food City, the food experts, locally owned and operated for more than 60 years with 130 convenient locations. Food City is proud to support Emory and Henry College football.
And we're also brought to you by Greco's, proud to bring the taste of your home, our home, to yours, serving Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee with locations in Abingdon and Johnson City. And the menu and much, much more information at getgreco.com.
And finally, we're brought to you by the Bank of Marion and all their hometown community branches throughout the region. The Bank of Marion, your home loan leader. And Gary, the Ferrum Panthers have won the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so the Wasps will go on right to left from the home side. Gary, as we get ready to set to kick off, a couple of things here. What does Emory got to do to go to 6-4 on the year?
Well, I think they got to stay on the field and keep the quarterback off the field. Need some long drives and need to get in some manageable third down positions. We're not very good at third and long. And they also need some balance with the quarterback being involved in the game. And defensively, well, it's keep Titus Jones in the pocket. And the safety's got to be a big help over the top and we need some pressure on this quarterback.
It'll be Christian Caldwell set to kick for the Panthers. And back deep, it'll be Crumblish and Howard, as Gary mentioned, about the 1 yard line. Kick is in the air, and we're underway as part of the Crooked Road Classic. Actually, T.J. Tester takes the kick. He'll take it at the 10. T.J. Tester with a lane to the 20. Tester to the 25. Ooh. Steps outside to the 35, and a nice return by T.J. Tester there, inserted late there, and a nice gain of 35 to start the game.
Yeah, he got an opening down here on this bottom half of the field, and he just shot through that. A couple of really vicious blocks there by the Wasps on that kickoff.
I think, Gary, a lot of things for Ferrum. I think they've got to keep sacks at a minimum today. They've had 11 sacks in their 3 losses. I think you're going to see a lot of rolling Jones out of the pocket today, and they've got to slow down this Emory running attack in some way, shape, or fashion. Emory's lowest rushing output was 163 on the year. 1st and 10, Emory will throw out of the backfield and dropped by Kashawn Cozy at the 40-yard line. That was delivered right in his hands, and he dropped it there right in front of Billy Higgins.
Yeah, I think Kashawn trying to turn and go too quickly. That's an easy, pitch and catch there because it's really soft zone coverage by the Panthers there. They're backed up 6, 7, 8 yards. 2nd
and 10 now for the Wasps, just underway from their own 35. Pistol formation for Short. Jordan to his right. Ferrum almost jumped. They get back. They have 3 down linemen. Both these teams changing it up now. Jordan goes to the left side of Short. 3 receivers in the formation. They give us to Jordan off the right side. Looks for a hole, still looking. Now gets outside 35-40. Accelerating does Jordan. And he made something out of nothing there. 8 yards, in fact, up to the 43.
Well, we're on Devonte Jordan watch here, and he needs 7 carries to break the rushing attempts in a single season for the Wasps. He is at 249, so we may see that early, but that is one of the records.
The play clock, the officials there stopped the play there. I think they're maybe have some challenges with the play clock. The play clock is actually not showing on the field house side. It is showing on the far side of the field, and they may have to keep the play clock on the field at the moment. They will keep it on the field due to the 1 clock not working on the field house side. So play clock, 25-second play clock will be kept on the field.
Well, and let's hope that does not become an issue.
Brings up 3rd and 2. Actually, they've cut both off now because if one's not working, it doesn't make any sense to keep the other one on as well. Big 3rd and 2 here for the Wasps. Their own 43. Just underway here on the opening drive. 3 receivers for Short. He's in the pistol. Now he'll go to the gun. Jordan to his left. Short looks to the left side. Again, they've got to keep that play clock there. We don't know how much time is on that play clock. Now Short goes to the right side. In the gun on 3rd and 2. Play action. Short keeps it. Gets a blocker. First down, and he's into Ferrum territory. Brendan Stewart leading in the way there from Short, who was untouched. Gets down to the Ferrum 48, gain of 7 and a first down.
And, you know, Josh, when you don't have the play clock running, this is something Coach Beecraft, the offensive coordinator, and Kyle Short are going to have to kind of keep an eye on the game clock and just time it out with the game clock.
Yeah, it's a tough assignment.
Yeah.
You almost have to have somebody there just doing that on the sideline.
Exactly.
1st and 10 pickup on 3rd down. They'll have it at the Ferrum 48. The 3rd down bugaboo there. Wasps get their first down of the day off that. Short in the gun. Give us to Jordan. Tries to get the outside, and he actually dives forward, but a nice open field tackle made by Tanner Kennedy at about the 47. Tanner Kennedy, the senior out of Big Stone Gap, only a gain of 1 for Jordan.
Yeah, Tanner Kennedy coming up underneath the block there and getting to Jordan to drop him for a 1-yard loss. He just kind of beat us through that gap that time.
2nd and 9 for the Wasps at the Ferrum 47. Just underway here. 13:44 left in the opening quarter. Emory on their first drive as part of the Crooked Road Classic. 3 receivers in the formation. Short will be in the gun. Jordan to his right. Stewart, the tight end, to the right side. Play action from Short. Nope, Jordan gets it. Spin move, dives forward, and Devonte Jordan has a first down to the 37. Nice fake there by Short. Looked like he was going to run it. Gave it to Jordan late, and a gain of 10 and a first down.
Yeah, Kyle Short reading that option on the RPO and giving it late, but, boy, there's a nice hold there by that offensive line.
So on 2nd and 9, Wasps keep it on the ground. They get 10 and a first down. Wasps at the Ferrum 37 now. They'll have, again, 3 receiver set. Short back there with Jordan. He'll be in the gun on 1st and 10. Short ready for the snap. Gets it. Going to throw. Short throws short. High pass there to Gunnar Griffith. He had to leap up for it at the 28. If you talk to Gunnar Griffith, he said he should have had that, but that was a high pass there. Would have been tough to grab at the 28.
Yeah, that was a little bit out of his reach right there, but I'm glad to see them get Gunnar involved in the offense early because there's been times where he's gone quite a while without a pass.
Tried a little bit of a slant there over the middle. He was open in front of the defender there on the right side. He's in front of Williams there. Brings up 2nd and 10 now for Emory at the Ferrum 37. Clock is stopped. 13 minutes exactly left in this first quarter. We're at no score. First drive of the game. Short will throw again. Short forward. Gets it at the 30. Forward at the 20. Cuts forward. Jamar Ford. 5. Touchdown. They'll try the slant to the left side, and Jamar Ford goes untouched, Gary. 37 yards out.
Well, he split those 2 safeties that time. Jamar Ford running that slant on the inside or post pattern, and Kyle Short hit him in stride, and he split the 2 safeties, and then he got a good block from Gunnar Griffith down at the end zone. So 6 points for the Wasps here at 12:52 to go in this opening quarter.
Nice balance, Gary, on offense there on that first drive for Emory. Jones out for the PAT, Short to hold. Snap is down. Kick is on the way by Jones, and the kick is no good. He missed it to the right. Look, he pushed it a little bit to the right, so note that in your notes. But with 12:52 to go, Emory and Henry strikes first on their opening drive, going 65 yards. They pick up a 3rd down on the way. Nice balance there, Gary, on offense. And Emory leads at 6-0.
Well, I think one of the things you see just now in this drive is they're throwing when you think they're going to run it. And that's some of the things we've talked about throughout the whole season is we need to be a little bit more creative as to when we're throwing and when we're running. And that time, Coach Beecraft, the offensive coordinator, getting Kyle Short going early, hitting a couple of nice pass plays there, particularly one to Ford for the touchdown. But Ford just those 2 safeties backed out of there.
Yeah.
They were in a cover 2 coverage, and he just split right through the middle of them. Like I said, he picked up a nice block and got into the end zone.
That's about the easiest pitch and catch you'll see.
Yeah.
And once Ford caught it, it was almost like parting of the Red Sea there in the middle of the field. Gary, nice balance there. 37 yards through the air, 28 on the ground. That's about as even as you could get.
Yeah, that is about it. That's much more even than what we've had in the past, and it's nice to see. Maybe the idea here is we put the offense on the field to start the game. We put the defense on the field to start the second half.
6-0, Emory and Henry. Jones set to kick. He's going to kick it short and not whistling for a fair. Actually, a late fair catch was made at about the 28-yard line. It was made by Tremont Holland, a linebacker.
I like that play. You know, some people don't. They want to see you boom it into the end zone, but you pooch kick that down to about the 25 or 30-yard line. Most of them are going to fair catch it. I know Newsom would like it a little bit deeper, but, you know, the field position is going to be inside the 30-yard line.
So the Panthers will start 1st and 10. They'll mark it at the 29. Jones will be in the gun. He'll have one back to his right, 3 receivers. Jones going to throw on first down. A pass is jumped there. He was throwing it out in the flat to Christian Caldwell. T.J. Payne read that and almost jumped the route, and if it's a step closer, he's going the other way for 6.
That ball is a little bit higher. Jones threw it kind of down and out, but T.J. Payne read that perfectly and almost picked that for 6.
Yeah, Payne jumped the route there and read it perfectly, and it brings up 2nd and 10. 3 receivers all to the right. Jones is to give to the right side, actually up to the 40, to the midfield. It's the running back deep into the Emory secondary, inside the 30, and all the way down to the 25, I believe, was Ellerby. Ellerby just went student body left. We talked about this defense here. They talked about the run defense. Boy, they are gashed right there for 51.
Well, they pinned the defensive end inside, and then our linebackers weren't able to get over the top, and there's nobody out there. They ran the corner off on man-to-man coverage. And there was just nobody there.
And a big gain there on second down. Panthers will have it 1st and 10 at the Emory 20. They quickly move again. The give is going to be to Ellerby. Ellerby dives forward. This time a much shorter gain as he gets it down to the 18-yard line. It was Brent Butler sent that play to the inside, and then Donovan Penix makes the stop.
Yeah, it's kind of, the Wasps have the best pass defense in the ODAC if we were in the ODAC, and here we're going up against the best passing quarterback in the ODAC.
Panthers don't take much time. They're back and they hike the football. Jones fires to the end zone. The pass actually hits the goalpost there. That ball sailed. They were looking for Penn on the post route. He was well covered. Jones was getting pressured there by Chambliss. Had to let that go off his back foot, and that ball sailed.
Yeah, DeAndre Chambliss just put a knockout blow on Titus that time. He's lucky to get Titus Jones, lucky to get the ball off, but it did sail high. When you can't step into a throw, it's more than likely that's what's going to happen.
Brings up 3rd and 8 for the Panthers at the Emory 18. Trips to the right side and left side for Jones. He's in the gun. With the back to his right is Ellerby. Jones looks right. Here comes the Emory blitz. They throw for the corner of the end zone. It's well covered. Again, they were looking for Penn. Dalton Wilson was right there. He had help from Law, and Emory holds, and they'll force a field goal try from the Panthers.
Well, there's that underneath man and zone on top. You got Law on top of that helping Dalton Wilson, and that's, Buzzo come up with this. I think he's looking at the Bridgewater game, saw how they held this Panther team to less than 200 yards passing, and that's why we're seeing this kind of hybrid defense. But
Seth Deaton there, he's 8 of 13 on the year. He'll kick it from 25. It'll be a 35-yard try from the left hash. Snap is down. Kick on the way from Deaton. Low kick. It's got the distance, and the kick is good. And with that PAT missed earlier in the game, Ferrum cuts the lead in half, and they now trail at 6-3. So a nice response there by Ferrum. They get the 51-yard run from Ellerby. Gary, nice stop there by the Emory defense. Once they got to the red zone, they actually gave up 2 yards, and that was it.
Yeah, they got gashed on the outside over there with Ferrum getting on the outside for that big run, but nice stop. Josh, I think we're going to see a lot of points scored today. I think the fans are going to get their money's worth. We've got fans all the way from Kentucky here today, so I think they're going to get their money's worth.
Yeah, and in this game, the last few years, it has been a high-scoring game. 59-35 here a few years ago. Mm-hmm. We all certainly, remember the rough game at Ferrum, and that was 39-38 in this one. So certainly the offense is here doing a good job so far, and the Panthers respond there. Again, kind of a win for both teams there. For Coach Adams, you had to have a score of some sort there. Good job by the Emory defense to not allow the 6.
Yeah, it's nice answer by the Panthers here, and that's they've got to keep pace with this explosive Emory offense.
I corrected that earlier. It's Isaiah Clark is the kicker for Ferrum, the freshman out of Concord, North Carolina. He'll boom the second one in the air, actually squibs it. It'll take a bounce at about the 25, picked up by one of the up man at the 30-yard line, and diving forward for a decent return to about the 33-yard line, I believe.
It's Addison nicely.
It was Addison. Actually, Miguel Reel.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Miguel Reel there. We saw him a lot last week in the Guilford game. And he gets 8 to the 33. And so the Wasps will go on offense here with 11:43 to go in this first quarter. Both teams scoring. Emory leads at 6-3.
Yeah, Miguel Reel out of Lafayette High School in Williamsburg is Coach Newsom's very high on this young man.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Wasps at the 33-yard line on their second series. And they'll have 3 receivers. They give us to Jordan, right up the middle. Jordan skips, stutter steps, dives forward, still going, and he finally gets up to the 35-yard line. It almost looked like he was running in a little bit of mud there, but he just kept moving the pile. He does get 2 on the play. Will Hairston makes the stop for the Panthers.
Well, he's hit almost as soon as the ball's handed to him, but it was able, his momentum and a little help from his offensive line got him a little more yardage, 2 yards.
2nd and 8 now for the Wasps, their own 35.
It's tough running in there right now for Devonte.
3 receivers set. Stewart to the left side. It'll be Short in the gun with Jordan to his left on 2nd and 8. Short ready for the snap. Play action. Throw short. Pass is caught by Ford again to the 40. Ford with a nice stiff move. Stiff arm there. Gets forward. He's got a first down. Jermarn Ford with his 2nd reception of the day gets it up to the 46. That's a gain of 11 and a first down. And, Gary, if you're playing 7 yards off, you got to take advantage of that.
Well, yeah, you do. I mean, this soft coverage by these corners, why not throw it out there and pick up 5, 6, 7 yards, sometimes more if you can, after the catch, get yardage after the catch, and Ford is able to do that. So I think we're going to see this often. We've seen it early. I think we're going to see it often.
Sophomore out of District Heights, Maryland, transfer from Wesley College. 1st and 10 Wasps, thrown 46. Short in the gun with Jordan to his left. Again, 3 receiver set. They give us to Jordan, right up the gut. Stutter steps, dives forward. And, boy, both linebackers for Ferrum fired off there. Billy Higgins will make the play and shoves him back a little bit more for good measure. He'll get up to the 47, just a gain of 1 for Jordan, who, outside of the one run, the Panthers have done a pretty good job with him in the middle.
Yeah, they're crowding that line of scrimmage. Those linebackers, their assignment is to stop Jordan first. We'll worry about the pass second.
I'll give him a little bit over a 1. We'll call it 2nd and 9 from the 47. 9:54 to go first quarter. Emory leads at 6-3. Again, 3 receivers set for Short. He'll be in the gun with Jordan to his left. Ferrum shows blitz off of both sides here. And they actually have all defenders within 8 yards of the football. Safeties are up as well.
Yeah.
Short claps for the football. Play action. He's going to go deep. Looks for the left side there, and he was looking for Crumblish there on the left side. Nice coverage out there by Jakari Williams. Used the sideline to his advantage and just ran that play out of bounds.
Yeah, well, they're trying to take advantage of the crowding of the box by Ferrum. They had at least 8 men up there, and they had single coverage out here on Crumblish. So do a little 50-50 ball down the sideline. But Jack Crumblish was not able to get any separation whatsoever from the defender.
3rd and 9 for the Wasps from the 47. Trips to either side. Short will go to the gun on 3rd and 9. Short, low snap, gets it. Steps up in the pocket, floats it, and the pass is caught by Ford again. That's a beautiful throw on the out route. It's a first down pickup down to the 37, gain of 15.
Well, a great pass, great catch, but I tell you what, Devonte Jordan got a really nice block that gave Short the opportunity to make that throw. If Jordan wasn't back there protecting, I don't think we'd have had that play.
Ford already, Gary, with 3 catches for a little over 60 yards. And it brings up a first down pickup for the Wasps to the Ferrum 37. Short in the gun this time with 4 receivers in the formation. Give us to Jordan. Bounces, tries to get outside, does so to the 35 to the 30, and then he's pushed out of bounds there, and a late flag comes in, Gary. This might be a late hit.
Yeah, he was clearly out of bounds when he got hit in the back right there. It's just not smart football by the Panthers right there. He's out of bounds and starting to relax. You don't like to see that because that's where you get people hurt.
It was a gain of 7 before he scampered out of bounds, and this is going to move it 15 yards more. Now we'll call that a personal foul.
I'm sure Coach Adams will be remarking about that on the film.
Moves that ball, Gary, to the Ferrum 15. Big play there, and the Wasps are in business again on their second drive. They lead it 6-3, and they have it 1st and 10 at the Ferrum 15. 4 receivers in the formation. Cool. Short in the gun on 1st and 10 from the 15. He's going to go to the fade route. Looks for Ford again. Ford! Oh, my gosh, what a catch in the end zone. That was excellent coverage out there by Williams, but Jermarn Ford have a first quarter, hauls in his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Second touchdown, fourth reception of the game. Jamarn Ford is lighting it up here, but Kyle Short dropped that ball in there. Just right over the top of the Ferrum defender. Ford was the only one that could catch it and made a really nice grab before stepping out of the back of the end zone to put the Wasps up 12-3 here with 8:37 remaining.
You love to see that fade route there in the corner of the end zone where only your receiver can get to it. Low snap, kick on the way by Jones. This one's good. Boy, that was a good job by Kyle Short to get that ball down. Jones gets the kick through, and Emory and Henry 2 for 2 on their scoring drives. Now they have the 15-yarder from Ford, and they take a 13-3 lead. And Gary, one thing that Joe Matthews mentioned just to our left, sports information director, Jordan is now tied in
I was just going to say
attempts.
that. He's waited. He goes up to 255 carries, one more carry for a record. Put his name in the record book for a fourth time as the number one in a category. He is first in most touchdowns in a single season with 23. He's first in single game scoring with 36, and he's first with most rushing touchdowns in a game with 5. And by the way, the single game scoring 36 points, he passed Earl Hawkins, and I got to see both of those. Devonte Jordan and Guilford and Earl Hawkins here against W&L many moons ago.
I thought you were 50.
Yeah, well, that game was only a few years back.
That's true. Well, I tell you, Jordan just smashing records left and right. Every time Emory runs a drive, Gary, it seems like he gets one.
Yeah, right? Every time he touches the ball practically, he's only about 27 yards away from breaking Sandy Rogers' single season rushing.
Jones kicks it off at the 15-yard line. It's gathered by Ferrum up to about the 30-yard line, and forward progress will stop him right there. That was Nashawn Green, the sophomore wideout from Amelia, who carried that ball about 15 yards back to the 31-yard line. So now we've got serve and volley. Emory and Henry has scored twice. Now it's up to Ferrum's offense to answer the call again.
Well, and then I think you mentioned this earlier. Ferrum had to answer off that first one because the Wasps are going to score points today. And what Ferrum's got to do is stay in the game. They can't go in a situation without answering.
That's what happened against Randolph-Macon against them. They got too far down in that one. They've got the offense to do it, and they've got single coverage at the top of the field.
Wow.
Penn goes in motion to the left side. Single coverage all the way around, one safety deep. 1st and 10, Jones gives it to Ellerby, though. They'll keep it on the ground. Boy, Emory liked that. They had single coverage everywhere. Ellerby up the middle, nothing doing. He gets a yard, and that's it. Chambliss, pick your lineman. Chambliss, Mighty, and company. They're on the stop.
Just the front four there. I'm surprised at that call because I figured when the Panthers see this man coverage across the field that they're going to try and go, deep with Penn or one of the receivers.
Boy, they've got it again at the top of the field with Grimes.
No safety help up there.
2nd and 9 from the 32. Jones, they're going to keep it on the ground to Ellerby. Tries to the left side, and why not to the 40? Ellerby in midfield. He's into Emory territory inside the 40. Gets away from a tackler inside the 35, and Ellerby for the second straight drive. Boy, just comes out of nowhere. He'll actually get down to the Emory 27-yard line. That is a gain of 45.
Ellerby showing some Devonte Jordan here today. I mean, he's looking like our running back. DeAndre Chambliss, number 97, fifth-year senior out of Chattanooga, was in on that tackle. He's our defensive end, folks.
1st and 10 pickup. Jones, first time he's going to carry it, gets to the left side, tries to get outside. Wasp did a good job there of going with him on the fake. Dalton shoves him out of bounds at about the 22. It'll be a gain of about 1.
Yeah, Ivan Phillips, the linebacker, forced that out wide, and when he did that, then Dalton Wilson was able to go ahead and push him out of bounds.
Ellerby, the sophomore out of Cheraw, South Carolina, with 99 yards on 4 carries right now. Bunch formation to the right, single receiver left is Penn. Jones in the gun on 2nd and 9. Jones will throw. Jones throws short. Pass is caught inside the 20, inside the 15, breaking tackles. And it's a 1st and goal pickup over the middle down to about the 8-yard line. It's caught by Caldwell, I do believe, and the Panthers look to be striking back. It's 1st and goal from the Emory 8.
Looks like we got an injured Wasp.
Right about the 4-yard line there. Can't tell who it is.
I think it's Ivan Phillips.
So both of these offenses right now looking very, very sharp. And Gary, we one of the things that I was researching, coming into this one is that Ferrum was last in rushing in the league. They had 71 yards rushing per game. They already have 100 right now in this one.
Ellerby here has gotten through the line of scrimmage round it once and then through it the second time, and I'm a little surprised at myself. They are not a very good running team, and the Wasps are one of the better defensive teams that they will have played, but they sure are moving the ball. And really and truly, Titus Jones has not been a factor so far.
No. And on the other side, Emory and Henry's been throwing the ball, which is something that, they've struggled with at times. So it's opposite day right now. Ferrum's been able to run the football at will. Emory's throwing the football, and gosh, this is not a good sign as Ivan Phillips come off. He is favoring that right arm, and he is really in pain as he comes to the sideline.
Well, they're holding that shoulder, and that doesn't look good. That's not a good sign there. He's going to be replaced by Nate Hamilton, linebacker. Nate's a junior out of Belmont, North Carolina. But that's a big loss for the Wasps.
Yeah, Phillips can't come back. He is the heart and soul of that defense. 1st and goal from the 8. Jones throws it out in the flat, and the pass is caught and getting away inside the 5, trying to make tacklers miss, making 3 and 4 Emory and Henry guys miss, and down to the 1-yard line was the back out of the backfield there. That was Ellerby again. He gets about 9, and it's going to be right at the 1-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal for the Panthers at the 1.
Nate Hamilton, who just came in for Ivan Phillips, made the initial contact, but he couldn't stop the Ferrum running back Ellerby.
2nd and goal for the Panthers at the Emory 1. Panthers trying to answer again. Jones in the gun, Ellerby to his left. 2nd and goal from the 1. They give us to Ellerby, and he gets in. No, he stopped. Boy, I thought he was in.
I did
but
too.
But they knocked him back. They'll say he's down inside the 1. I thought he got crossed the plane.
I thought he did too, and then got knocked back out of the end zone, but they ruled differently. But he is on about the 1-inch line.
Inside the 1. 3rd and goal from the 1 now. Jones will be in the gun. Ellerby to the left. Tight formation, 1 receiver right. Jones, the give us to Ellerby, dives forward. This time he dives, no signal yet. And now he's into the end zone. Boy, it took a while, but he gets in. And, boy, Panthers fire right back as they get into the end zone. Here we go with this track meet. It's 13-9.
Yeah, and like we said, we expect a lot of scoring today, but we don't expect most of it be coming out of the running back, Ellerby, who's been really the key today for the Panthers offense.
Yeah, already over 100 yards in this one.
6 carries, 100 yards.
Jones to hold. Deaton try to get this back to a 3-point deficit. Snap is down. Kick is on the way by Deaton, and the kick is good. And so with 5:44 to go in this first quarter, both teams looking very sharp on offense right now, Garrett. It's a 13-10 Emory lead.
Yeah, offensively, both of them are clicking, and the defense, we kind of expected Wasp to score a lot of points, but the Ferrum Panthers are having no trouble moving the ball on this Wasp defense, and it's on the ground, and that's where our strength has been, is on this running game.
Yeah, Ellerby, both of his big runs have been to the left side. One was he got around the end and went 51 yards. The second one, he used his left tackle there, David Boston, got a great block and went off left tackle, and then he got again, a 45-yarder that put Ferrum in business on this drive. So he's had a couple of Emory fortunate to get him down. Otherwise, it looked like he was going to go score.
Yeah, and it is bizarro world because the Wasps are moving the ball through the air. Jermaine Ford, 4 catches, 2 touchdown passes. Kyle Short, pretty accurate today. And Devonte Jordan, just 33 yards on 6 carries. And it's the opposite on the other side. So,
down is up.
Yeah.
So, again, it'll be Clark set to kick for the 3rd time in this first quarter. Tester and Howard are back deep. This time Howard's going to get a shot at the goal line. Howard to the 5, to the 10. Howard to the 15, to the 20. Tries to get outside to about the 22-yard line. And he'll get maybe to the 23-yard line. Elijah Crenshaw on the stop there for, Deshaun Green, I believe, on the stop there for the Panthers.
Yeah, not much space there to run. Joel Howard doing what he could, but not much of an opening there. And getting a little chippy on these kickoffs. A lot of trash talking by both squads right now on the kickoffs.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys know each other, especially from Central Virginia and the New River Valley. A lot of these guys played against each other, probably in high school too.
Yeah.
1st and 10 was from their own 23. Worst field position of the day for Emory. Short in the gun. Play action. Throw short passes caught at the 30-yard line, and they'll say he put a knee down there at the 30-yard line was Justice Marshall. But again, open in the middle of the field there, it'll be a gain of 7.
Yeah, again, they're just the Wasps taking advantage of that soft coverage by the Ferrum Panthers and just playing a little pitch and catch. Marshall's
first reception of the day. He's the sophomore out of Radford. 2nd and 3 now for the Wasps at the 30. 5:10 to go first quarter. 13-10, Emory and Henry leads it. Short in the gun with Jordan to his right on 2nd and 3. They give us to Jordan. Jordan off right tackle.
Oh.
He's got a first down to the 34, and Gary with that attempt.
Yeah, with that attempt, he just broke Chris Miller's record with 255 carries. That was his 256. Chris Miller played here from 2001 to 2004. Really carried the bread a lot in his 03 and 04 season. And Devonte Jordan just unseated Chris Miller.
He gets a first down to the 34 as well. And Short will be in the gun on 1st and 10 from the 34. Jordan to his right. 4 receiver set for Short. Short ready for the snap. They give us to Jordan. Off right tackle. Jordan gets outside of the 40. Trying to get outside again. Gets a first down to the 45. He has a gain of 11. And Devonte Jordan with back-to-back carries there has it up to the 45 and a first down.
Well, now, Devonte Jordan is starting to bring things back to normal. That's what we expected to see, Josh, is him running the ball and Titus Jones for Ferrum throwing the ball.
That unofficially, Gary puts him at 52 yards for the game, so he's getting close to another big record in this one. 1st and 10 pickup for the Wasps from the 45. A little over 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. And Emory leads at 13-10. Short in the gun with Jordan to his left. Play action. Short throw, short pass is caught by Marshall over the middle to midfield. And Marshall has his second reception into Ferrum territory down to the 48. Gary, that slant's been open all game.
Yeah, and let me tell you what they're going to do here soon. I think you're going to see that we're trying to pull these, throw that slant underneath, pull these safeties up, and then it'll be a double move and run by the safeties, and could be wide open here. And so we've hit that slant pass about 3 or 4 times, and you're going to see these safeties keep creeping up until we're going to blow by them.
2nd and 3 for the Wasps in Ferrum territory at the 48 now. Short in the gun with 3 receivers, Jordan to his right. They give us to Jordan, off right tackle, trying to get away from a defender, cannot. Nice tackle from behind there by Rashawn Hairston, I believe. And it would be no gain for Jordan. That's something that you don't say a whole lot. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I think it's Drew Hill, number 0, that made that tackle.
Yes, thank you. That's correct.
But, yeah, he had Jordan as soon as he touched the ball here, and brings up I think this is an important 3rd down here. I mean, we obviously haven't got an answer right now for this Ferrum offense. We need to keep ours rolling.
Micah English replaces Jordan on this 3rd and 3 call. Bunch formation to the left, single receiver right, Short, going to throw it. Pump fake, throws over the middle, pass is caught, and then hit immediately inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Another catch by Marshall. He knew he was going to get hit, but Gary gets 10 and a first down.
Yeah, again in the middle of the field underneath those safeties, and they're going to keep walking it up there.
And Gary, the Wasps pick up another 3rd down. That's their 3 of 3 now on 3rd downs.
They came into the season, or this game, at about 43% on 3rd down. So this is a nice improvement.
1st and 10 Wasps now from the 38. English stays into the game. He's to the left side. Marshall goes in motion to the right. Short throws it out to Marshall in the flat. He's got room to the 35. Good. Marshall inside the 30. Gets a block out there from Griffith. Gets it down to about the 29-yard line. That's a gain of almost 9.
I tell you, one of the secrets to Devonte Jordan's been able to run has been the blocking by these receivers. Kashawn Cozy and Gunnar Griffith and Elijah Rice may have been the best blocker of the 3, but these wide receivers have been really good at downfield blocking for our running backs.
That was almost like a sweep there. Marshall just kind of ran out of the backfield there and took the pass. Gets 9, brings up 2nd and 1 now for the Wasps. 90 seconds left in the opening quarter. It's 13-10. 2nd and 1 from the 29. Play action, short, looking deep, looking right sideline. It's a jump ball. There's a flag down. Connor Griffith caught it, but out of bounds. Let's check the flag at about the 9-yard line. Griffith and the defender there battling and jostling for position there. And let's see how this one goes. This may go against Ferrum.
Given the head coach Ferrum's being halfway out on the field, I'd say this may be going against Panthers. I don't think he'd be out there congratulating the official if it's going against Gunnar Griffith and the Wasps.
It's going to be interference against Ferrum. That's going to give Emory another first down. Nice job there from Short. He recognized single coverage out there on Gunnar Griffith and thought, let's take a shot at it. Griffith, he would have been the only man to make the catch. He caught it, but he was out of bounds. But before he got there, it looked like he was being battled at about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, there was a lot of pushing and shoving right there. We've had our share of those.
Yeah, I've seen too many of those. 1st and 10 Wasps now from the Ferrum 14. Jordan back into the game. He's to the right side of Short. Trips to either side. Short gives it to Jordan. Tries the left side. Jordan to the 15. Jordan to the 10. Cuts inside to the 5. Down to about the 2-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at about the 2. That's a gain of 12 on that play.
Jordan just would not be denied right there. He carried the one defender about 3 or 4 yards after he'd made contact. So nice run by Devonte.
And Gary, he's at 60 yards. He's tied the record.
He is not actually broke it.
Did he break it?
Yeah, he needed 59.
He's tied. We notified he's tied with Sandy Rogers at this moment.
If he's got 60 yards, that gives him 17:31. So
it'll be 1st and goal pickup there. I thought Jordan was going to go into the end zone there, but he's down at about the 2. I tell you, every time he takes the football there, he's got it.
So we just been notified by Joe Matthews that he did break the record, so he just passed Sandy Rogers.
Yet another record for Devonte Jordan. What is new? It seems like every quarter, Gary.
Mm-hmm.
1st and goal from the 2. And they'll give it to Jordan. Why not? Dives in. 2nd effort. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. Why not? After breaking 2 records, Gary, why not give it to him from the 2, right?
Why not? Why not? Devonte Jordan just goes in for 6 points. That is his 25th touchdown overall, 24th rushing touchdown. By the way, Josh, he leads the nation in rushing touchdowns with 23. That was number 24. He's number 1 in the nation in rushing touchdowns.
Yet another touchdown to add to his fantastic season. And another PAT from Jones. The snap is down, kick is up and good. With 40 seconds left in this first quarter, Emory and Henry with a first quarter explosion. Now, Gary, that's 2 weeks in a row that they've exploded offensively. They've got 20 points, and they lead this game 20-10.
Yeah, they've scored 24 points last quarter, and then they scored 20 against Ham Sydney, so they've got 2 games in which they've scored 20 points or more. This is the 3rd one, so quick start for the Wasp.
Yeah, and Gary, you almost get the feeling in this one, with the way these offenses are clicking, if either defense can get a stop, that might be momentum.
Yeah, this might be who has the ball last kind of game. So, and Devonte Jordan now has 6 record-setting, has set 6 records in the Emory Henry record books. So his name's going to be, he's in there more than some of the ones that the Earl Hawkins, Sonny Wade's, Bob Miller's.
Yeah, he's passed everybody.
Yeah,
I think.
6th.
He has had a whale of a season, and we're just in the first quarter, folks.
Yeah, he's working on, Josh, his 10th straight game over 100 yards. 10 straight.
Jones set for another PAT, and Ferrum will have 40 seconds left to do something with it in this first quarter. 20-10, Emory leads it. This one is going to be returnable by Green at the 12. Green to the 15 to the 20, stumbles, and that helps Emory catch him at about the 25-yard line. Marshall, who's had a good game receiving-wise, it makes the first hit at about the 25.
Yeah, Nate Hamilton also in on that tackle. It seems like Nate is always in on tackle on kicker. He's been really good on the kickoff team. And trying to see if looks like Ivan Phillips, number 27, is going back on the field. That's a great sign for this Emory Henry defense.
Boy, and the defense has been gashed here in this first quarter, especially on the ground.
On the ground.
They'll try trips this side to either side. Jones will be in the gun. Ellerby to his left on 1st and 10 from the 25. 33 seconds left in the opening quarter. Jones will throw. Jones under pressure. Gets away from one man. Now steps up, just flips it, and one-handed is Ellerby. Makes the grab off the ground. My gosh, what has Ellerby not done in this first quarter? Gets the shot put off the ground. It's a gain of 12 to the 37.
I thought sure that ball was going to hit the ground. I didn't see any way Ellerby was going to catch it. But Titus, you see Titus Jones, how he can extend the play with those legs.
And Ellerby has done it all right there in this first quarter for Ferrum. Gets the first down with 13 seconds left in the quarter. Ferrum's going to try to run one more play. 3 receivers for Jones in the gun on 1st and 10. Jones to give us to Ellerby. Ellerby cuts up the middle of the field. He'll get it to about the 41-yard line. That's a gain of 4. And with that, let's take a breath. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Emory 20, Ferrum 10.
And we'll also take a moment to thank our underwriters. Emory Henry Football is brought to you with the support of Tumbling Creek Cider Company. They're open daily in the Spring House at 112 Court Street, Northeast Abingdon. And there you can visit them online at tumblingcreeksider.com. Tumbling Creek Cider Company, serving the spirit of the community.
And Emory and Henry Football is underwritten by Snow's Fine Meats and Provisions, open Tuesday through Saturday and online at snowsfinemeats.com, 160 East Main Street, Abingdon.
And we're also brought to you by First Bank and Trust. They offer mobile banking, Apple Pay, remote deposits, and much, much more. They've been serving the community with free checking since 1979. They're a member FDIC, and you can visit them on the web at firstbank.com.
We're also underwritten by Food City, the food experts, locally owned and operated for more than 60 years with 130 convenient locations. Food City is proud to support Emory and Henry College football.
And we're also brought to you by Greco's, proud to bring the taste of our home to yours, serving Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee with locations in Abingdon and Johnson City. The menu and much, much more information can be obtained at getgrecos.com.
And we're brought to you by the Bank of Marion and all their hometown community branches throughout the region. The Bank of Marion, the home loan leader. We start the second quarter. You give us to Ellerby up the middle. This time Emory does a good job of bottling him up. Credit Brent Butler for shoving the first man through backwards and nowhere for Ellerby to run. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7, and Gary, a flag comes in the secondary.
Yeah, that's going to be some type of personal foul after the play. So
Penn and Dalton having some discussion about Thanksgiving holidays and what to bring in for the holiday meal.
Yeah, who's got the dressing and who's got the cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that's going to go. It may be offsetting. It might go on one or the other. It'll be interesting to see. But that flag came in awfully late.
Well, I said earlier, there's been some mouthing or trash talk on the kickoffs. It looks like it's gotten into the regular.
And this is going to go against Ferrum, Gary. 15 yards. And with the way this offense is clicking, boy, Emory and Henry, you'll take it. That down counts. Instead, it's going to bring up 3rd down and 22.
Well, and this is, you mentioned which defense could make the offense blink first, and this may be what it is. It may be that the Wasps, if they can get a stop on a 3rd and 22. Of course, if you're going to do anything on a 3rd and 22, you're going to do a 50-50 ball and hope for a interference call. So watch out on this deep ball.
Jones with time, throws short, passes caught and actually immediately dropped for a loss. Back at the 17-yard line, they tried a little bit of a bubble screen. Addison nicely was right there. He dropped the receiver there. It was Nick Cook. It's going to be a loss, and Emory and Henry's defense does get the stop on 3rd down.
Yeah, Addison nicely has had a really good season at that free safety. He's been, come up on those bubble screens like that. But he against W&L, he really was a force on that ground game that W&L has.
Weird formation here on the punt. They've got defenders all over the place. Snap is good to the punter, Luckett, gets it in the air, takes a bounce into Emory territory inside the 45. Ferrum will let that roll dead at the 41-yard line. That is a 37-yard punt, no return, and most importantly, the Emory and Henry defense gets a stop, and with 13:49 to go until the half, Emory takes over a good field position, leading 20-10.
Yeah, first stop by a defense today, and so there were none in that first quarter. If you had the ball, you scored. So that may be the difference maker. If the Wasps can put a little breathing room between them and Ferrum right here, it may be difficult. Then you got Titus Jones has got to throw the ball.
Yeah, that 15-yard personal foul made that third down conversion almost impossible. It'll be short in the gun with 3 receivers on 1st and 10 from the 41. They give us to Jordan. Jordan waiting for blockers, gets up to the 45, and just follows the blocking there to about the 45. That's where he starts. Will Moss there pulling guard there. Gets a gain of about 3 on first down, brings up 2nd and 7.
You know, Josh, you said something there, waiting for his blocks. That's one of the things that's made him so successful, Devonte, this year, is he's very patient to the hole. It's patience to the hole, and then you get through that hole as quick as you can. But he really is patient about waiting for the blocks to materialize for him.
They'll give him 4 on the play, brings up 2nd and 6 for the Wasps, their own 45. And they'll move Stewart up. They'll move Griffith on the line of scrimmage, 3 receivers on 2nd and 6. They give us to Jordan, tries the right side. Boy, Ferrum really crowding that line. He'll get some positive yardage to about the 47-yard line. Jonathan Washington makes a stop for the Panthers, and he'll bring up a 3rd down and about 4.
Boy, there's nothing in there that time. I thought he might bounce it to the outside like he can very easily, but he tried to turn it up in there. It's just nothing doing.
3rd and 4 for the Wasps, and 3rd down's been good so far for Emory and Henry. They're 3 of 3, and they'll need 4 yards to keep that streak going.
Well, with the defense getting a stop on this last one, the offense needs to keep moving here.
Bunch formation to the left, single receiver right is Griffith on 3rd and 4. And it'll be short in the gun with Jordan to his right. Short will throw, looks right side, throws deep right side, looking for Griffith, got turned around there. That ball kind of floated up there a little bit. Griffith was looking for it at about the 30, and that ball sailed on short, falls incomplete.
Well, it's 3rd and 4, and we go for a 50-50 ball when a slant has been open. I'm surprised we didn't try to go with the slant, but they must have seen something they thought they could get down the field with.
So now both defenses now back-to-back. And the Panthers force a 3 and out, and they will get the football back. Muncie set for his first punt from the 47. Snap, no rush at all. Muncie gets it in the air, good kick. Fair catch is taken at about the 15-yard line by Caldwell. So nice job by Muncie, 39 yards in the air, no return. Ferrum, with 12-13 to go into the half, they'll take over from their own 15, trailing 20-10.
And Ethan Muncie had to warm that leg up double time before the game because he didn't punt a single time last week.
Yeah, and the way the first quarter was going, you were wondering if we were going to see Luckett or Muncie at all in this one. Now we've seen them back to back.
Yeah.
So the defense is now adjusting. Now let's see if the Emory defense can hold a second time as Jones will bring out 4 receivers on 1st and 10. Jones rolls right, looking to throw, steps back, now takes off and runs with it, and he slides down at about the 17. Penix there right there on the stop. Boy, I thought Jones had some running room there, Gary, but he slides down for a gain of 2.
I'm surprised he did. I thought he could motor on down the field a little bit more, but I'm glad he did.
2nd and 8 now for the Panthers at their own 17. Zion Grant comes in where we'll replace Rasheed Ellis. He'll line up on the line with the front 4. 2nd and 8. Jones in the gun with 3 receivers. Ellerby to his right. Jones, play action. Looks to the left side. Pass is caught. Nice throw by Jones on the out route to Penn. That's his first reception of the day, and it's good for a first down to the 27, gain of about 9.
Yeah, man coverage that time by Dalton Wilson is just a down and out, and Dalton really had good coverage. That just was a well-thrown ball.
Yeah, Jones had that ball in the air before Penn broke for his route to the sideline. And it's a pickup of about 9 and first down for the Panthers at their own 27.
Penn, a big 6'3", tall, wide receiver there. Dalton's got his hands full.
Jones will throw on first down. Jones throws off his back foot. It's a jump ball, and the pass is almost intercepted.
Oh.
T.J. Payne got in front of the receiver out there and Cook. Jones had to throw that quickly. He was being pressured by Penix, and T.J. Payne almost got the pick at midfield.
Yeah, T.J. Payne's kind of got decked there, or I think he would have caught that ball. It looked like he got hit right before the ball got there, but Titus Jones off his back foot, he's so much pressure he couldn't get the ball up there.
Yeah, Nick Cook turned into a defensive back there. 2nd and 10 now for the Panthers. Jones to give us to Ellerby, runs right by one of the Emory linemen, dives forward to about the 29-yard line. Boy, it looked like, I think Zion Grant had broken through, and he ran right past him for a gain of about 2, brings up 3rd and 8.
Big 3rd down here for the Emory and Henry defense.
10:45 to go in this first half. Emory up 20-10. Emory trying to get their second stop on third down in a row here. 3 receivers in the formation. Penn slot right. 4 receivers now for Jones on 3rd and 8. Jones drops back. Busted play, I think. They give it to Penn. Penn makes one man miss, but he's going to be short. I think Ferrum thought Emory was offsides. Emory did not go offsides. Jones hiked the ball early, and he's going to be short. It's going to be 4th and about 5.
Yeah, I think there was some confusion on the offense that time for Ferrum. It looked like they were not either they weren't expecting it to be snapped or whatever, but that play ends up costing them and leaves them short on this 4th down to cause another punt.
So the Wasps back-to-back times here. They've stopped Ferrum on 3rd down, and they'll get the football back with 9:55 and counting left in the opening half.
A lot of movement on that Ferrum punt team.
Luckett set to kick. Howard stands at his own 30. Luckett ready for the snap. Snap is good. Gets it away. Good kick into the wind, but now he gets to the wind, and it takes a bounce. Ferrum bounce inside the 35, inside the 30. Wow. Going to get some nice kick bounce out of there down to about the 24-yard line. That's going to be about a 44-yard kick from Luckett. And Emory will take over from their own 24. 9:31 to go in the opening half, leading 20-10.
Well, they got about a 15-yard roll there, but nice stop by the Emory Henry defense.
Egg on the far side of the field. Thrown at about the 37. It's an interesting spot for the flag right there.
For
and the way Emory's looks like it's
they're
go against the Wasps.
They're coming back, so
maybe Ford got a little bit too ineligible downfield. And that's a tough break there for Emory, as they had a perfect play call there on 2nd and 1.
Yeah, they had one of the receivers covered up on that top side. That somebody's got to be off the line of scrimmage, so you're ineligible if you cover them up.
Brings up 2nd down, and we'll call it about 6 from the Ferrum 45. First penalty of the day for Emory. Short in the gun with Jordan to his right, 4 receivers. Short play action, throw short, passes through the hands and intercepted. Through the hands of Cozy, and what stoppage of play. It looked like Ferrum had an interception.
No,
Did they say the ball hit the ground?
Hit the ground.
Oh, gosh, what a break for Emory. It looked like an interception by Payne, I believe, off the deflection. Now the officials are talking again.
Well, they're talking again, but if they do, they'll call an inadvertent whistle and give the ball to Ferrum if they do say he's caught it, because they've stopped the play now.
Cozy went right through his hands there. Payne looked like he got it before it hit the turf. One official called it incomplete. Payne stopped running. Actually, I checked that it may be Couch. And now the officials are going to come over here. Gosh, this is –
I think they're going to call an inadvertent whistle and an interception.
It looked like an interception from the outset.
Well, the White Hat's going to talk to both, so maybe we'll just play this down over.
I don't know. It's an interesting call coming up.
Our mistake, we'll just play it over.
I think they're going to call this an interception, Gary.
Yeah.
I think you're right, and I think it's going to be an inadvertent whistle, and that's a break for Emory because Payne was off to the races there, off to the deflection. Yep, and here comes the Emory defense. That's what they're going to call. They will call it an interception as it's off the deflection of Cozy, and it's going to be an interception for Ferrum. Inadvertent whistle, though, probably prevents at least a 30-yard return.
Well, you know, it's so funny. That's the call that should have been made when we played Bluefield down here, and Ivan Phillips intercepted the ball, ran it for a touchdown, but they didn't do that.
So the first turnover of the game, Panthers take over their own 37. Jones is going to flip it backwards. It's almost like an option, and that's going to go nowhere. He throws it back to Joe Burris III. He's going to lose 7 yards. It was Jordan Mighty pressuring Jones. Then he just kind of flipped it like an option back to Burris III, and he was dropped.
Well, it worked once with Ellerby when he did the same thing, but, you know, sometimes that kind of thing gets you more trouble than it's worth.
So a loss of 7 brings up 2nd and 17 for the Panthers back at their own 30.
Yeah, he could have taken a sack, kept the ball, and it had been like a 2nd and 12.
Jones with 3 receivers left. He's in the gun, 1 back. They give us to Burris III. He'll try the right side. Burris the third gets a short gain up to about the 33-yard line. Burris third, the junior out of Virginia Beach. And it's going to bring up third down and about 15 for the Panthers. Stopped again by Mighty, who's all over the field. He's going to be replaced on this down right here by Chambliss. And actually they're going to go with 3 down linemen this time and bring in an extra defensive back. So looks like T.J. Tester is in the game. 3rd and 15 for the Panthers at their own 33. Jones drops back. They bring Tester on a blitz. Tester's going to get the sack. T.J. Tester comes right in and drops Jones. And the Emory defense now 3 straight times they forced a punt back to the 23.
A little safety blitz there by T.J. Tester. They brought him in, took Jordan Mighty out for a 3-down lineman, but they still rushed 4, trying to confuse that offensive line of Ferrum, and T.J. Tester answers the call.
Boy, the Emory defense starting to pick up steam here this last few minutes. They'll force another punt. Luckett stands back at his own 10. Howard ready to receive. Luckett ready for the snap. Snap is good. And it's nearly blocked by Crimes. He gets it away. Howard going to take it at the 44. Dangerous catch and an immediate tackle right there as no fair catch was called by Howard. And he's dropped immediately at the 44-yard line by Jakari Williams.
Boy, there's excitement on both ends of that one, Josh. Jalen Crimes almost blocks the punt, and Joel Howard doesn't call a fair catch. You have to catch our breath here after that play.
So after 30 points in the first quarter combined, we are still sitting at 20-10 with 4:19 left in the half. And boy, Gary, you'd love to see Emory take this clock down and score and go into the half because the Emory does get the ball to start the third quarter. Or excuse me, Ferrum does get to start the third quarter. Either way. They give us to Jordan off left tackle with a pulling tight end to the 45. Devonte Jordan with a nice bit of speed. He gets to midfield, gets out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Nice block out there by Brennan Stewart, tight end.
Brennan Stewart has cracked this starting lineup the last couple of weeks. And nice block by him and enabled Devonte to get 5 yards or 6 yards on that carry.
2nd and about 4, right at midfield. Just under 4 minutes to go. Both teams with all 3 timeouts still at their disposal. And it'll be 3 receivers in the formation for Short. Jordan to his left on 2nd and 4 from midfield. Short ready for the snap. To give us to Jordan, right up the gut. Jordan dives forward. 2nd effort, rolls, and he's right at the first down marker.
He is first down.
And he does get the first down to the 45. He rolled for the last 2 yards, but he gets the first down.
Well, here we go again. Devonte Jordan closing in on another 100-yard game. He's at 98 yards. So one more positive carry, and it'll be the 10th straight game he's rushed for over 100 yards.
Raquan Payne on the stop there for the Panthers. 1st and 10 Emory now at the Ferrum 45. Again, 3 receivers. Again, Stewart to the right side. It'll be Jordan to the left. Short, play action. Rolls right, going to take off and run with it. Gets a block from Stewart, and then Short is knocked down hard at the 41-yard line by Williams. It'll be a gain of almost 5.
Good play by Kyle Short that time. We need him to run the ball in this one-back offense. I know Devonte is all-world for us right here, but you do need a quarterback running the football to pull away some of the emphasis from the defense on Devonte Jordan.
2:45 and counting. It's 2nd and 5 from the Ferrum 40. And again, Emory certainly doesn't have to be in a rush here, still with all 3 timeouts. 3 receivers in the formation. Short in the gun, Jordan to his right. Short ready for the snap. Play action, pump fake, nothing is open, and Short's going to go down in the backfield. Big loss there, back there, dropped by Drew Hill. Short pump fake, looked like he had a receiver open, didn't see him, and he's dropped at the 49.
He did. He had Gunnar Griffith open on that slant pattern. I don't know why he pulled it down, didn't throw it, but he had an open receiver. Maybe he was waiting on Cozy to break out to the flat, but Gunnar Griffith's open early.
Big sack there by Hill. Brings up 3rd and 14.
That's one of those where you shoot your own self in the foot.
Short in the gun with 4 receivers. Jordan to the left side on 3rd down. Short looking. Throws to the left side. Pass is caught, first down by Marshall. He came back to the ball. It was behind him. Makes the grab. It's a gain of 17 and a first down.
And that pattern, we had 2 receivers in the same area. And it looked like we had the running the wrong routes, but Short puts that on a line right to the Emory receiver.
Yeah, Marshall.
Marshall out of Radford.
Big pickup on 3rd and long as Emory gets it down to Ferrum 29. Actually, officially, it's 22 yards on the reception.
Well, Kyle Short digging himself out of a hole there.
At the 29-yard line, 4 receivers in the set. Short in the gun, Jordan to his right. From the 29. Play action. Short throws, short passes, caught by Ford. A lot of grabbing out there at about the 19. Passes knocked away by Elijah Crenshaw. Deshaun Green, I should say.
Yeah, there's a lot of holding right there. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag thrown, but that's going to bring up a 2nd and long with 1:38. We still have all 3 timeouts left, so plenty of time.
Trying again, Gary, for that back shoulder grab at the mid-first down marker.
The back shoulder was grabbed.
Yes.
But it was from the Ferrum Panthers.
2nd and 10 from the 29. Short in the gun, Jordan to his right. Again, Ferrum creeping up. To give us to Jordan, tries to get outside, does so to the 25. This is coming back, though. Yeah. Jordan's into the end zone, but there's going to be a hold on the left side. Flag went down as soon as he went down on the left side.
Yeah.
Right at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to call a hold on that one.
And from the reaction, looks like it was against Parker Coe. So flag goes down all on immediately there, and it's going to take away that score from Jordan. Back that up to the 39-yard line with 1:31 to go. Emory's going to have its 2nd down and about 20.
Well, that's a shame. That was a really nice run by Jordan, but I guarantee you when Devonte Jordan goes back to the huddle, he will not say anything other than that's okay. We'll get it back, guys. It's the kind of player he is. He's not going to say anything to Parker Coe or anybody on the offensive line for that hold.
So 1:31, 2nd and 20 now coming up for Emory at the Ferrum 39. 4 receivers set, Short in the gun with Jordan to his right. Short ready for the snap. From the 39, Short will throw. Short with time, throws over the middle of the field, looking downfield, it's intercepted, underthrown. He was looking for Griffith, who was open, but that pass was underthrown, and it's intercepted.
Yeah, Griffith had about a 3-yard cushion right there, and Kyle Short just put too much air under that ball, not enough zip on it to get it down there, and Ferrum gets a big turnover at the 1:24 left. Now they have all 3 timeouts, and boy, you don't want to see that turnover turn into points right here, right before the half.
I believe it was Avion Smith on the interception for the Panthers. And Griffith was open, but that ball was underthrown. There's a little bit of a wind here at Fred Self Athletic Stadium's Nice Water Field right now.
But the wind, as you're right, there is some wind. It's at his back, though. It's
true.
He just put too much air under that ball.
1st and 10 Panthers from their own 8. 1:24 to go in the half. Jones just going to take off and run with it, slides down, and he's actually going to lose yardage back to the 7-yard line. See if Emory doesn't maybe call a timeout if they get to 3rd down here. Well, bring up 2nd down and 11.
With Ferrum's big play capability, I don't know if they want to stop the clock. I think I would be content to go in with a 10-point lead because they can hit the bomb here with Penn at that wide receiver, and Jones can take it to the house himself.
2nd and 12 now from the 6. Clock at 52 seconds and counting. 4 receivers for Jones in the gun. He'll move a man in motion. That's Cook. They'll keep it on the ground off the left side. Actually, a nice game by Ellerby. He's had a good first half. Gets it to the 14-yard line. We've got a timeout is called by someone.
Emory called. They have called the timeout.
So 3rd and 4 coming up with 39 seconds to go. And, boy, this says a lot. It says a lot about your defense. You feel like you can get a stop on 3rd down.
Yeah, you definitely feel like you can get a stop here, and you got them pinned deep into their own territory. They're not wanting to stop the clock for sure, but again, this big play capability of this Ferrum Panthers, I mean, you've got some explosive football players out there.
Yeah, Ellerby, 113 yards in this first half. He's leading the way. That's the surprise, for me. Certainly Ellerby, not discrediting him. He's a great running back, but he's just not been the focus of this offense. And he's had 2 big runs in this game so far.
I don't think he's run for something like 320 yards all season. He's had 76 carries. The quarterback's run the ball more than he has. So, yeah, this is a surprise that Ellerby is such a factor in this 20-10 Wasp lead right now.
3rd and 4 coming up here for the Panthers. You figure they're going to try to keep this on the ground if they can. I expect maybe Jones to keep this by himself. They're going to pitch it to Ellerby. Ellerby's going to be picked in the backfield. He's going to lose major yardage, and Emory's going to call for a timeout with 32 seconds to go. That play went nowhere, and it went backward all the way back to the 3.
Well, now our other linebacker, Brent Butler, is on the turf.
Emory calls their second timeout there, and it is Butler about 4 yards deep into the end zone. They try to pitch. Did the Panthers back to Ellerby, and Ellerby had nowhere to go. There was 3 Emory defenders in his face.
I really thought they might try some type of little screen play down, a bubble screen down there, just to, it's looks like Brent's going to be all right, but somewhat painful injury.
Butler walks off. Butler, the senior out of Roanoke, Virginia, transferred from Concord.
He's been last year we used him as a blocking back, but he's so good at the defense. Buzzo asked if he could have him back for linebacker when they took Overstreet away from him. So
Luckett going as far as he can. He's like almost in the back of the end zone.
And Jalen Crimes is going to be all out on this one.
4th down. The punt is away. Good job by Luckett to get it away. Howard going to let that ball bounce. It takes a bounce at about the 35 and rolls dead at the Ferrum 36 with 21 seconds left in the half.
Took a while to stop that clock right there, but the Wasps have got 1 timeout left, which is saved for a field goal right here.
Yeah, and after a 30-point combined first quarter, we're 21 seconds away. We have no score in the at least in the second quarter. And both defenses, Gary, settling down here a little bit. Yeah,
they have. Both of them settled down. Devonte broke off that long run, but it was a pull call back for a hold. The Wasps need to get about 15 yards here or so put this in Jones's reach.
It'll be short in the gun. Jordan to his left on 1st and 10 from the Ferrum 36. Jordan to throw. Looks good. Short looking to throw. Throws out there to Cozy at the 30. Cozy with a nice block and then gets out of bounds. 1st down at the 25. That was perfect.
Yeah. Gunnar Griffith, nice block there, and Cozy goes out of bounds. Stop the clock. They don't have to use their timeout. And they're probably almost in range for Jones for a field goal right here.
15 seconds left. They're at the 25-yard line. You'd like to see Emory get maybe a few more yards here on this play. They've got 4 receivers in the formation. Short in the gun. Jordan to his right. On 1st and 10. Short, ready for the snap. Gets it. Looks left. Fires, passes high, but caught by Cozy inside the 15, and he gets out of bounds again. Another 1st down. Clock is stopped with 9 seconds to go.
And they still have their timeout. Now, I think you take 1 shot in the end zone and then you kick it.
He has it at the 14-yard line.
And if it's not there, you throw it away. Kyle Short's got to throw the ball away, not into the hands of the Panthers. Yeah, no sacks and no mistakes. Throw the ball away.
1st and 10 Wasps at the Ferrum 14. 9 seconds to go in the half. 4 receivers for Short. Ready for the snap. Drops back. Looks left. Throws to the end zone, and Ford got into a crowd there. Couldn't get loose. Clock is down to 5 seconds. And Emory will bring the field goal unit out.
Yeah, you got to kick it now.
They tried the one-on-one there, but that pass, Ford got bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Couldn't get off his block.
Well, it's that 50-50 ball, and I kind of like this area down here where you've got 3 receivers and you can cross up a defensive back and maybe get a little inside on them and get into the end zone. But we'll save that for another day.
And Ferrum's going to make Jones think about it. They'll call a timeout. Why not? They've got 3.
Yeah, no sense. You can't have them back.
So with 5 seconds to go into the half, Emory will try to go to the locker room leading 23-10. And Gary, after a rough first quarter, Emory's defense really playing strong right now.
Yeah, they are. They've really answered the bell here in this second quarter, and they've done a really good job with 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions for the Pan. I was looking on the other side saying, have they made 4 out of 5? But no, that's Emory. Yeah, the Emory defense has held them to 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions. And they really 134-yard total yards. Most of that was in the first. I think Ellerby had 100 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah, Ellerby. It's been all Ellerby. So we'll try again. 31 yards out, just inside the left hash to try to give Emory a 13-point lead. Short to hold. Snap is down. Kick on the way by Jones. It's up, and the kick is good. And that ends the first half. Jones from 31 yards out. And we go to the half with the score. It's Emory and Henry 23, Ferrum 10.
Big conversion right there on that play. Good defensive stand. Had them deep down in there, called some timely timeouts to force them to punt. And that little quick pitch to Ellerby just didn't go anywhere. And Watts getting the ball midfield and making some hay out of that.
That's why the importance of saving those timeouts for a situation like that. It put them kicking from the back of their end zone. Emory got a couple of first downs, and then relatively mid-range attempt from Jones, and nice second quarter there. We talk a lot, Gary, about the third quarter. Second quarter's been pretty good for Emory right now.
Yeah, second quarter's been one of our better quarters, and against W&L, if you look at both sides of the ball, we totally dominated W&L in that second quarter. I mean, but the defense is going to come out and play first in this second half, so the offense will not be coming out of the locker room to start the game. Maybe they'll get some, the adrenaline going after they watch the defense, and certainly the defense after that first quarter has really come to play.
Yeah, they have a couple of big stops on defense, a couple of penalties, we'll say, certainly that have not helped Ferrum in the least, but they're getting what I've noticed that they're getting pressure on Jones.
Yeah.
You talked about that in the pregame. Emory's got to get pressure on him, make him make a quick decision, and right now the decisions he's made, Emory's kind of taking advantage of that overall.
They
really
sure have.
Well, we will step aside. We'll send it back to WEHC Studios for the halftime show. Stay tuned with David St. Clair with his halftime show. We will rejoin you with a look at first half statistics, a look around the ODAC and the SAC as well, and then, of course, the second half of this one between Ferrum and Emory and Henry at the half. It's Emory and Henry 23, Ferrum 10. You're listening to Emory and Henry College Football on 90.7 WEHC, the voice of Southwest Virginia.
he's been a delightful addition to this Emory Henry offense. And, last week it was Jack Crumblish that was leading the way, and he was kind of taking the place of Elijah Rice. So Jermon Ford now doing his thing today.
Some scores to report in the ODAC. Of course, we mentioned last week Washington and Lee with their win automatically gets the conference's automatic bid. Right now they're in a struggle. They're losing 7-6 to Shenandoah. That game is at the half. Meanwhile, it's not really a contest in Ashland as Randolph-Macon is just putting it to Hampton-Sydney right now. It's a 27-7 lead for the Yellow Jackets, who really need Washington and Lee to win out to have any shot of an at-large bid. Macon, even at 9-1, is going to be a long shot to get a second ODAC team in. They're going to need W&L to win that one, and they're going to need a little bit of help. But that's the thing in Division III. When you are 9-1 and you don't win the conference, there's only 5 at-large bids, and one or two are going to go to the Mount Unions and the Texases of the world, and so there's not a whole lot left.
Yeah. No, there's not. And the other thing that hurts the ODAC is that we've not been tremendously successful in the playoffs. And so when you look at the conferences, do you reward that or do you reward the Mount Unions and Mary Hardin Baylor, of the world, Division III world? And so you got to have some success in the playoffs in order to get looked at with these at-large bids.
So that'll be a very anxious selection Sunday tomorrow for the Yellow Jackets. Meanwhile, no reports yet from Guilford and Bridgewater, and boy, that's a game, Gary. You talked at the outset about seniors. It's a relief. Both of those teams very disappointing seasons, and I'm more surprised about Bridgewater than I am Guilford in that spot. The loser of that one will go winless in the conference.
Yeah, and in Bridgewater, they had a lot of fifth-year seniors come back because they thought they had a chance at winning this ODAC.
Yeah,
I mean they seriously did, and I know I talked with Coach Newsom in his conversations with the Bridgewater coaching staff. He said, I think they came down here thinking that they were really going to beat us, and I think it's been a real disappointment for Bridgewater. They had such high expectations, and now when you're playing in that game today, I don't think it's only the boys. I think it's the coaching staff. Let's just get this one over and get back on the bus and go home.
Yeah. So those games we'll continue to monitor. Meanwhile, over in the SAC, the new conference coming up, and really it comes down to what Mars Hill does a little bit later today against Wingate. A win by Mars Hill. They win the conference and they win the automatic berth. Newberry is really looking for the next in line after Mars Hill. If they lose, Newberry would get in with a win and a Mars Hill loss. Meanwhile, Lenore-Ryan is beating Catawba 42-3. They have to have both of them lose to get in today.
Yeah, Newberry's down at Limestone, and for those of you that haven't been taking or watching the SAC conference, Limestone is winless in the conference.
Yeah.
And so I don't see how Newberry's going to lose. To me, I think Lenore-Ryan's chances of getting in are very slim. I think Mars Hill, in my way of looking at the way this conference is going, I think Mars Hill is going to take care of business down in Wingate today because they've got everything to play for. Wingate's out of it now.
Yep, they are.
So they've got the motivation.
One thing that before we get ready for the kickoff, Joe Matthews says since the D3 has expanded to the 32-team bracket, the ODAC has not gotten an at-large bid. So you may be correct, Gary. Kick is in the air. We're underway in the second half, and the kick comes down about the 10-yard line up to the 30. The 20, I should say, and I'm ahead of steam there by, I believe, Green. He'll actually still fighting forward with no whistles yet. He'll get it up to the 34-yard line. So he really carried that pile for the last 10 yards after that pickup. And so the Panthers will start 1st and 10 from the 34. And, Gary, we are in the dreaded third quarter.
The dreaded third quarter, and our defense is on the field. That's the positive part of it.
Yes.
Hopefully the offense, they'll get some coffee, wake up, and come out in this third quarter.
Those Panthers will start going from right to left, trailing 23-10. It'll be Jones in the gun, one back to his right. That's Ellerby. 3 receivers, all to the left side on 1st and 10. Jones, they give us to Ellerby. Late give there. He almost missed him, and Ellerby gets very little, maybe gets 1 yard on the play, and that's it. Butler there and also Phillips there on the stop, just a gain of 1.
Yeah, Titus Jones looked like he might pull that ball and go around the end, but there's a late give and the blocks were already shed. There's nowhere to go.
Brings up 2nd and 9 for the Panthers. Same formation, 3 receivers left.
TJ Tester in the game.
They're going to throw left side. They look for the deep ball out there. On the deep out, it falls incomplete. A quick snap there. They were trying to hit Daniel Lamb out there. Nice coverage there. Crimes had him underneath. Law had him from behind, and all of a sudden, Gary, now it's 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and the Wasps have come out here with the three down linemen on this defense. They've got TJ Tester in the game as a 5th or 6th defensive back, and it's kind of interesting. We're going to three down linemen here.
Almost like a nickel
Yeah.
package here. 4 receivers for Jones on 3rd and 9. Jones drops back. Jones under pressure, now rolls right. Now throws back across the field, knocked away by Crimes. What a play at the 45-yard line. He knocks it away from Lamb. That would have been a 1st down,
Yeah.
but a great job to force a punt.
Yeah, Jalen Crimes comes around the receiver and doesn't have his hands on him and knocks the ball away for a 4th down here. And the Wasps coming out with this nickel package, if you want to call it, but just 3 down linemen.
Defense again playing well. They force another punt from Luckett, and Howard stands at his own 30. Luckett ready for the snap. Snap is good. Crimes almost gets to it again. Boy, somehow they get that ball out inside the 35, down to the 30, still rolling, and now a flag comes in at about the 28-yard line. That'll be a kick of 37, but that flag came in right at the end.
Well, Dalton Wilson was close to the ball, but he got tackled by a Ferrum defender, and I don't know if the flag is for illegal use of hands or what, but Dalton Wilson just got tackled.
The ball is spotted. The ball roll did at the 28-yard line. It was thrown by the side judge, and I think you're right, Gary. This is going to go against Ferrum, and they're going to move the ball up 10 yards.
Yeah.
It's going to be a holding, and you never see that, a hold on the kicking team.
Well, when you tackle the guy, it's got to be either an illegal use of hands or a hold, so take your poison. But, yeah, Dalton Whistle just got tackled, number 3 for the Wasps.
So the Wasps with good field position after the 10 yards. They'll have it at the 38 to start their first drive of the 3rd quarter. 3 receivers in the formation for Short. Play action. Short throws in the flat, and the pass is incomplete. Boy, they had 2 defenders there for Ferrum. They just didn't have their heads around there. Cozy didn't see it as well, and if either Ferrum defender turns around, that's 6 points.
Well, a little crossing action there by Ford and Cozy, and Ford was wide open because both receivers for Ferrum stayed with Cozy and Short. Ooh, that was almost 6 points for the Panthers.
2nd and 10 now at the 38. Short in the gun, Jordan to his right. They'll try Jordan on this handoff. Tries to get to the outside, does so, but not a whole lot of running room there as he actually is knocked out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard up to the 39-yard line. Ferrum's pursuit there, excellent on that play. He's knocked out of bounds by Williams. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
It's been tough going all day for Devonte. I mean, he's just not had running lanes. A lot of this is second, third effort on his part.
3rd and 9 for the Wasps at the 39. 4 wide for Short. Short looks to the right side. Again, there's no play clock. We've not had one all game long, so the play clock being kept on the field. Short in the gun on 3rd down. Short looks right. Pump fake. Throws high, and that pass should have been intercepted. Boy, it was high over the middle to Griffith there. He was being knocked down on the play. Boy, when you throw high over the zone there, it's going to be picked off. Avian Smith almost had his 2nd.
Well, that's 2 passes that almost got picked off in that 3-and-out series. So the Wasps staying true to form on this 3rd down, or 3rd quarter, excuse me. But he did have Jermaine Ford wide open on that previous pass.
And it will be a punt coming up for Muncie. And Caldwell stands at his own 26 for Ferrum. Snap to Muncie is good. Soccer-style kick on the way off the side of his foot. Ooh, and that's going to give Ferrum pretty good field position there. The official coming up, they're going to go past the 40. They're still walking, and they're going to put the ball down at about the 47-yard line. That is a 14-yard punt.
I'm not sure why Muncie uses a rugby-style kick when he's got a howitzer for a leg. He can punt it a mile. I don't think he's a rugby player. And, terrible field position for the Emory defense here.
Caught that one. Looked like it was a little bit fat when he kicked it. And so the Panthers, boy, they needed that break. They've got it at the 47. This is some of their best field position all day. Jones looked in the right side, throws over the middle, and a crowd, and it's incomplete. He was trying to complete that to the tight end, to Matthew Montgomery. There was 3 wasps around him at the 50-yard line.
You had a linebacker, Butler, and then you had the safety nicely, and then you had Crimes, the corner, all on that one receiver, and that's where Titus Jones decides to throw it.
Both quarterbacks a little struggling right here to start this third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers, 13:05 to go in this third quarter. Emory up 23-10. 4 receivers in this formation. Jones in the gun. He'll drop back, looks right, dances, now rolls right, under pressure, throws off his back foot, and he throws incomplete. Nice chase out there by Rasheed Ellis. They got Jones out of the pocket, and he couldn't make the throw to the 45. And again, Gary, it's 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Yeah, Rasheed Ellis complained to the official about being held, and I think he's absolutely right. I think he would have had a sack there if not for that. But, again, enough pressure to force Titus out of the pocket, and bad throw.
3rd and 10 for the Panthers. 4 wide on this formation. Emory with 3 down linemen. Jones, they bring a 4th. It's Tester. Jones throws over the middle. Passes wide open at the 35, at the 30. Inside the 25 to the 20. Accelerating to the 10, to the 5, and it's touchdown. And guess who? It's Joshua Ellerby again. 53 yards, and Ferrum burns Emory on 3rd and 10.
Ellerby that time, a back out of the backfield, was being covered by Brent Butler, the linebacker, and he just got behind Brent Butler. Titus Jones extending that play a little bit with his legs and giving Ellerby a chance to get behind the linebacker. Linebackers covering running backs is not an easy assignment, and you better not leave them out there too long because they cannot cover them that well.
Nice job for Jones to buy time, and boy, Ellerby continuing his good work as he's into the end zone, and it's now Deaton out for the PAT. Jones to hold, snap is down, kick is on the way by Deaton, and it's up, and it's good. With 12:47 to go in this third quarter, Ferrum, after getting a short punt, short field, they strike on 3rd down. They hit the pass to Ellerby, and all of a sudden, Gary, it's a 23-17 game.
Well, we come out and we go 3 and out, and then we punt the ball 15 yards and give them the best field position of the day, and now they draw this thing back within 1 score. We kind of played into their hands there. We come out and do a 3 and out and almost throw 2 interceptions and then punt the ball about 15 yards. And guess what? Now they're right back in the game.
Yeah, and just like that, after a half in which they were held to just 5 first downs, Joshua Ellerby right now making his case for ODAC Player of the Week. He has 176 combined yards right now, 12 rushes, and now 3 receptions.
Yeah, I was just going to say Ellerby. I'm going to see him on the ODAC Player of the Week webpages tomorrow probably. But Ellerby having a heck of a game for the Panthers here, and Titus Jones, quarterback, able to extend that play, and he put Brent Butler in a tough position, having to cover Ellerby out of the backfield.
So Deaton set to kick, and it's a 6-point Emory lead. He squibs it. It's going to take a high bounce and take it at about the 25-yard line by the running back there that was Real. And Real gets it up to the 31-yard line. The Ferrum sideline is fired up, as they should be.
Well,
they've played a good third quarter so far.
They have played a good third quarter. They've hung in here and took their punches on the second quarter, and their crowd and their sideline are both into the game now. We need to do something here first down-wise, give the defense a little bit of time off the field.
Wasps come out 1st and 10 from their own 31, 12:40 to go in this third quarter. The lead is 6, 23-17. 3 receivers in this formation. Short will be in the pistol to start. He'll have Jordan behind him. Now Jordan rolls to the left side on 1st and 10. Short gets the snap. Nope, Short's going to keep it. Gets to the 30, to the 35. Nice block downfield. And Kyle Short has a gain up to the 36. That's a gain of almost 6.
Well, we've said this before, Josh. We need to see more of Kyle Short running the ball. They key on Devonte, definitely today, keying on Devonte. But nice little gain there of 6 yards, 5 yards for the quarterback.
Yeah, that play's been open, when he's run it so far, and that's because of the great running that is Devonte Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
trips to either side. It's actually a gain of 5 on what calls 2nd and 5 from the 36. Short in the gun. This time they'll go to Jordan. Jordan tries the left side, gets outside. First down run by Devonte Jordan. Stays in bounds, and then he's knocked out of bounds into Ferrum territory. Late flag comes in. He was knocked out of bounds. They stepped out at the 49. That's a gain of 10, but there's going to be another 15 added on to it.
Yeah, he was out of bounds. I know Cleve Adams, the head coach for that's their third unsportsmanlike penalty in this game, and all this one I don't know if it's going to hurt them, but the last 2 have hurt them. So
yeah, it'd be 15 yards out of bounds, and coming into this one, they are last in the ODAC in penalty yardage. They came in giving up 80 yards in penalties, and they're well on their way right now.
And it's penalties that hurt them, and of course we're glad to take the 15 yards, but they're not smart. They're not penalties off of aggressiveness. They're just not smart penalties.
So it's a first down pickup for the Wasps, and then the 15 yards makes it to the Ferrum 36. 1st and 10, Wasps with 3 receivers. Short. It's going to be the reverse. And it's going to be Ford looking to throw deep down the field, looking for Griffith. He's got it! Oh, what a throw! Oh, what a catch! Jermar Ford, but there's a flag down.
Oh.
Check the flag at the 28.
Well, it was an exciting play. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it looks like,
ineligible downfield again against Emory. Wipe the touchdown off the board.
Wow. That is twice we've had an illegal formation, and both times it's hurt us.
Gosh, what a throw from Jermar Ford. Hits Griffith diving into the end zone, but the ineligible receiver takes that off the board.
And Jermar Ford, the touch on that pass was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he right in the hands of Gunnar Griffith, and ineligible receiver. We covered up the inside receiver again. It's the second time today we've done that, and it's cost us both times.
Yeah, and it's just a simple thing, but if the lineman's on the line, you've got to be off the line. So it's 1st and 15 coming up after that. The pitch is to Devonte Jordan. Now reverses field. He's got blockers to the 35. Gets to the 33, and that's where he's going to stop and then be pushed out of bounds. That'll be a gain of about 8. Nothing doing on the right side. Reverses field, and he gets 8.
No, and that was all Devonte because there was nothing on this right side. He had to go to the left, and I thought he was going to get more yardage than that, but it's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 now.
And that's what you want to do if you're Emory there. Get half of that off the penalty. Brings up 2nd and 8 from the Ferrum 34. 11:06 to go, third quarter. Emory up 23-17.
Well, they've snuffed out our trick play, so.
3 receiver set, Short in the gun. Jordan to his right. Short ready for the snap. Play action, throws of a mill, passes caught by Ford, inside the 20, to the 15, still going, and Jermar Ford down to the 11-yard line, gain of 23 on the slant.
All right, Kyle Short, nice throw. He drilled that ball in there. Ford just had a step, and that's why I like that slant. You don't need but a step on your defender, but Ford is down after that catch and the run after the catch.
I'm still just shocked at the touch on that throw he made just a minute ago. Just a beautiful throw.
The touchdown pass that was called back? Yeah. It was. I mean, it put a lot of air under it and led Gunner right into the end zone.
And we hope that Ford is okay. You talk about Ellerby being a big part of the offense today. Jermar Ford now over 100 yards receiving in this one. Just went over that with that catch today.
Well, and also we'd be remiss if not reminding folks that Devonte Jordan set another record. His 10th game of the year, over 100 yards. His name's being etched into Joe Matthews is good. His chisel and hammer are going to be worn out by the time he etches all these into the, the bronze. Is it a bronze or a silver? Cup over there. He'll be working late. But he's got some time, I understand, coming up, so he should have plenty of time to be getting all this record-breaking stuff recorded.
And it's good to see Ford up on his own power. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. But, he has been the receiver, like you said, Gary, since Rice's injury. He has really taken over number 1 on that receiving corps.
And Jermon is a sophomore out of District Heights, Maryland, and transferred from Wesleyan College. So he come in for Elijah Rice, and he's done a heck of a job.
So it's first down pickup now. Emory resets to the 11-yard line of Ferrum. Short pump fake, throws over the middle, goes to the corner of the end zone. He turned Griffith around. Griffith went in and then went back out, and the pass falls incomplete. Nice coverage out there. I believe that was Williams again. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Wasps at the Ferrum 11. And boy, they are definitely targeting Griffith a lot today. They've gone to him. He's been targeted about 5 or 6 times today so far. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Wasps at the Ferrum 11. 10:33 to go in this third quarter. Emory up 23-17, trying to answer Ferrum's touchdown just a few minutes ago. 4 wide for Short. Ferrum shows blitz up the middle. It's going to be the draw to Jordan. Jordan to the 15, stumbles, and he gets it down to about the 12-yard line. Looked like he tripped over a lineman's foot there. He was stopped by Washington. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 6.
Yeah, he ran into Parker Coe and got tripped up there, and then Ferrum made the tackle. But that draw, we ran it before. Every time we've run it, it's been pretty productive for the Wasps.
3rd down and about 6 from the 7-yard line. Wasps can get a first down. They have to get it to about the 1.5-yard area to get a first down. 3 receivers all to the left side. Jordan lines up to the left side of Short on 3rd and about 6. Pump fake. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught by Cozy for the touchdown. Over the slant pattern again. It's Kashawn Cozy from 7 yards out.
I do not think they've stopped slant pattern today. Every time we've run, if they've stopped it, it's been because we've not thrown a good ball. But that time, Kyle Short hitting Kashawn Cozy for that touchdown, just rifles it in there. And Cozy's got great hands, hangs on to the ball for the touchdown, and a much-needed score to quiet down that Ferrum sideline.
Yeah, after Ferrum had scored to make it a 1-possession game, Emory gets it back to 2. Meanwhile, on the PAT, the snap is down. Kick is good by Jones. And with 9:49 to go in this third quarter with the score, Emory Henry now leads at 30-17.
And let's take a moment to thank our sponsors. Emory Henry Football is brought to you with the support of Tumbling Creek Cider, open daily at the Spring House on 112 Court Street, Northeast Abingdon, and online at tumblingcreeksider.com.
And also we're brought to you by Snow's Fine Meats and Provisions, open Tuesday through Saturday and online at snowsfinemeats.com, 160 East Main Street, Abingdon.
And we're also brought to you by First Bank and Trust, offering mobile banking, Apple Pay, remote deposits, and much, much more. They've been serving the community with free checking since 1979. Member FDIC, and you can visit them on the web at firstbank.com.
We're also underwritten by Food City, the food experts, locally owned and operated for more than 60 years with 130 convenient locations. Food City is proud to support Emory and Henry football.
And we're also supported by Greco's, proud to bring the taste of our home to yours, serving Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee with locations in Abingdon and Johnson City. The menu and more information at gricos.com.
And also we're brought to you by the Bank of Marion and all their hometown community branches throughout the region. The Bank of Marion, the home loan leader. And a big score there to respond to the Ferrum momentum as Emory has it back to 13. Jones is set to kick. Cutler and Green are back deep for the Panthers. Jones gets into it. It will be returnable. Actually, going to take it about the fair catch is made for at about the 2-yard line. I like that call there by Green. He was kind of in no man's land there. You know, Emory's coverage there would have been short of the 25. I like that fair catch call.
Well, 2 of the 3 officials didn't see the fair catch call, and they wound the clock. And the side judge on the Emory sideline did see the fair catch signal, so he stopped the clock. The White Hat actually wound the clock on that, which meant that he would have had to Ferrum would have had to have run the ball, or he'd been down right there.
So after the fair catch, it'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 25. 9:49 to go in this third quarter. Emory up 30-17. Jones in the gun. He'll have one man in motion. They'll give it to the jet sweep and going nowhere. They tried to give it to Marcus Cutler on the jet sweep. He went nowhere. Jordan Mighty with a drop. He'll actually lose 6.
Jordan Mighty saw that coming from the far sideline, and that was you're not coming around here. Great play by Jordan Mighty.
So it's a loss of 6 on first down, brings up 2nd and 16 for the Panthers back at the 19. It's the first time we've seen that jet sweep call, and if it goes like that again, I don't know if we'll see it again from the Panthers.
Yeah, we finally learned how to stop that after seeing W&L run it for years.
3 receivers set for Jones. He's in the gun. Now receivers will flip-flop to either side of the field. Clark will go on one side, and you have one receiver on the other. Jones to throw on second down. Throws out in the flat to Ellerby. Ellerby gets it outside. Boy, the good job of the Emory defense to find Ellerby. Gets only a yard gain up to the 20-yard line. Ivan Phillips there found him out of the backfield, and that's good because that makes it at 3rd and 15.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. And TJ Payne also in on that tackle, so good play by both Ivan and TJ.
Yeah, Ellerby has had a big game, and so Wass doing a good job of holding him down there. It brings up 3rd and 15 for the Panthers. 3 receivers to the short side of the field, 1 receiver at the top. Jones in the gun on 3rd down. Jones drops back. Jones throws short, pass is caught, actually dropped at the 25. That would have been well short of the first down. Cutler was the intended receiver, and Ferrum goes 3 and out.
Yeah, and that's kind of, Titus Jones had Penn at the top, and he was open. He'd broken inside, but Titus Jones had decided to come down here to the left side all the way. I don't think he ever looked up there, and he had single coverage with Penn.
So the Wasp defense forces a punt here as Luckett set to kick. Howard standing almost at midfield. Snap to Luckett is good, and again, it looks like it may have been partially blocked. This ball is going to take a Ferrum roll, though. It's going to go dead at about the 48.
I think
Crimes got a hand on it.
I think Crimes did. He's actually celebrating as if he did, and so we'll give it to him. Partial block.
28 yards on the punt, and Emory with beautiful field position at the Ferrum 48, 8:13 to go in this 3rd quarter, leading 30-17. And gosh, Gary, you'd love to get up 3 possessions right now.
Yeah, I'd love to get up 3 possessions and kind of put this game on ice, but we'll see if that happens. The offense clicked that last time. Let's see if they can do it again.
4 receivers set for Short. Will be in the gun. Jordan to his left on 1st and 10 from the Ferrum 48. Short at 200 yards passing, ready for the snap. He'll throw again. Looks right. Pump fake. Looking out there for Griffith. And here comes another flag. Yep. 2 flags.
2.
And I think they're going to get interference again coming up against Ferrum. Jakari Williams there was grabbing the back of the 1 and 6. And the officials talking it over.
They're talking it over. It's I'm surprised they're even having this much conversation, but I don't know if they're going to call a hold or interference. Maybe that's the issue.
I think it's going as interference. Nope. See, that's why you don't listen to me. It's a hold.
That's another one you owe me.
Yeah. The hold will still give Emory and Henry a 1st down. They'll mark that at about the 33-yard line of Ferrum. And Griffith right now today is drawing about 3 or 4 of those penalties today.
And they may have considered the ball was not catchable.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the hold, it doesn't matter if it's catchable or not when you call a hold.
1st and 10 Was after the hold at the Ferrum 33. They give us to Jordan. They'll try that reverse to Cozy. Cozy with blocking to the 25 to the 20. Kashawn Cozy inside the 10, and he's ridden out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. That's a gain of 25. This time the Wasps ran it instead of throwing it. It's 1st and goal, and Emory trying to get up to the line quickly here.
Gunnar Griffith, a great block on that edge right there, enabling that run by Cozy.
1st and goal, Emory quickly to the line at the Ferrum 8. They give us to Jordan. Off right tackle. Devonte Jordan in the end zone. Touchdown. Untouched, mind you. He's into the end zone 8 yards out.
Well, they had the Panthers on their heels right there, Josh, and who better to give it to when you got them on their heels. Nice play by Cozy on that reverse, and then quick snap it, and Jordan goes into the end zone. And it looks like we may be going for 2.
Wasps up 36-17. They missed a PAT on the first drive of the game here, so the Wasps are going to go for 2 here with this momentum. They've got receivers to either side. Crumblish goes in motion to the right. Short rolls right, throws right. Pass is caught by Crumblish, and he's in for the 2 points. He barely got into the end zone. It was Damian Dula there trying to stop Crumblish, but Crumblish breaks the plane, and the 2-point conversion is good.
And the Wasp offense just elated with themselves, and I don't blame them. That's 2 nice drives after coming out flat on that first series 3 and out, but that time a little more trickery, a little reverse with Cozy. Instead of throwing it, we run it, and then Devonte Jordan finishes the drive off.
So the 2 points, Gary, that makes it a 21-point Emory and Henry lead. It's a 38-17 game. And, Gary, when those type of reverses works, it's because the team is so bent on trying to stop Jordan. If you have misdirection, it's open.
Yeah, I mean, who are you going to are you going to just let Jordan go? No, you're going to take everything you've got to go and try and stop him, and it's worked twice in a row, once for a pass and once for that's the most trickery we've seen this year, isn't it? I don't think we've seen I've seen some of this trickeration in practice.
Yep.
But it's Coach Newsom has shelved it most games.
I remember Jordan's halfback option against Randolph-Macon. That was the last one that I can vaguely remember.
I think that's the only trickeration I've seen him.
So Emory and Henry with their largest lead of the game, 38-17, halfway home in the third quarter, 7:49 to be exact. Jones is set to kick. The kick is deep. Boy, and it is deep.
Yeah.
Green's going to take it at the 2. This time, no fair catch. Gets it up to the 15, tries to get outside. Good coverage by the Emory. Henry, secondary, the ball's loose. It's a fumble at the 16. Who's got it?
Looked like to me there was a blue
Ferrum's
jersey,
got
but
it.
the white hat.
Ferrum recovers, and that was,
I don't
that
know
would have
about
been.
that.
Ferrum with the recovery. They do signal Ferrum ball at the 16. That ball was out.
Yep, definitely out, and Ferrum lucky to
Antoine
recover.
Covington Jr. with the recovery there, and that's a big recovery there for Ferrum.
Yeah, Ferrum, big recovery. That may prevent the house from folding right there.
1st and 10, Panthers. Another good coverage on special teams by this Emory group.
Devonte Jordan now has rushed for 25 touchdowns this season. 25. The next closest to him is a guy named Sonny Wade.
Yeah, and he's 5 away now.
Yeah, and he's 5 ahead of Sonny Wade. So,
1st down and 10, Panthers thrown 16. Jones is going to keep it himself. Now bounces outside. Tries to look for blockers, dives forward. He'll get up to the 20. One of the few runs that we've seen from Jones, it'll be a gain of 4. Dalton Wilson on the stop brings up 2nd and 6.
a lot of dancing around by Jones that time, but the Wasps were able to contain him. Dalton Wilson staying at home and cornering him inside there.
Yeah, that was just the 5th rush for Jones. Of course, he gets all those sacks as well, so he's still in negative yardage. 2nd and 6. And they're going to give it to Ellerby off right side. Boy, Emory and Henry lowers the boom right at the line of scrimmage. Brent Butler right there to stop Ellerby for no gain.
Both our linebackers have gone out today, Brent Butler and then Ivan Phillips before that. But, boy, they've come back with a vengeance. Brent Butler just blowing up Ellerby right at the line of scrimmage.
And this is big for Ferrum. 3rd and 6, already down 21. And boy, they could ill afford giving this back to Emory.
No, and they're 2 of 9 on 3rd downs, and they're deep in their own territory. So the best they could hope for is midfield if they don't get this.
Jones steps back. Jones under pressure, slings it high, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted at the 38-yard line. And Emory and Zyquist Law with the interception, and the Wasps are in business.
Boy, that was just a horrible pass by Titus Jones that time. Way high, overthrow everybody, and you got a safety set back there in the middle of the field. It's like, here's a gift for you, and Zyquist didn't even really have to break on it. It just was thrown right at him.
And fortunate for Ferrum, it's right on the ground. Otherwise, Zyquist Law could have returned that. But Emory and Henry now takes over at the Ferrum 38, 6:30 to go, 3rd quarter, up 38-17.
Yeah, and the wheels coming off the cart here for the Panthers in this 3rd quarter.
It'll be 3 receivers set for Short. He's in the gun. Jordan to his right. Short gets the snap. They give us to Jordan right up the gut. Jordan gets to the 35, dragging tacklers down to the 33. Gain of 5. Boy, all of his runs today have been hard-earned, and he's still approaching 150, Gary.
Yeah, I mean, he's approaching 150, and he's been hit many times to get to that 150-yard mark. But, boy, the Panthers just kind of unraveling on offense here today.
Gets 5 on that play, does Jordan. Brings up 2nd and 5 from the 33. 3 receivers all to the left side. Jordan to the right side of Short on 2nd and 5. And they're going to give it to Jordan again. Jordan off left tackle, 30-yard line. Dives forward. 2nd effort, he's just short of the 1st down. He needed the 28. He's going to be tackled at about the 29 by Williams. Going to bring up 3rd down on a yard.
Boy, he almost broke it out to the sideline there. And if he had, it'd been 6 points. But, well, he just never quits.
No.
I mean, you've got to get him on the ground.
3rd and 1 for the Wasps at the Ferrum 29. 5:28 to go third quarter. Emory up 38-17.
Boy, you like having 3rd and 1s. It's an offensive coordinator's dream right there.
Short, ready for the snap, looks to the right side. On 3rd and 1, they'll come out in a 3-receiver set. Jordan to his left on 3rd and 1. Low snap. They give us to Jordan. Dances forward. He's got a first down. Gets to about the 27-yard line, and it'll move the chains for a first down. Like to see that, Gary. Three rushes and a first down.
Yep. You love seeing the 3rd and 1, but the Wasps now are 6 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. So a great day for them. Like I said, they're around 43% for the season, but today they're up there at 75%.
Nice job on the math, man. That's awesome.
Hey, yeah, well, hey, Joe already had it in there. All he had to do is look. No, I didn't divide that.
Okay. 1st and 10 Wasps for the Ferrum 27. Short, throws quickly to Cozy at the 25, inside the 20. And again, Gary, the slant proves to be a big play as it's down to the 15, a gain of about 13.
Well, they've hit it every time, and if they haven't hit it, it's because we just haven't thrown it in the right spot. But it's been open all day long.
And another first down pickup for the Wasps now, the Ferrum 15. And the Wasps trying to close in, try to go on over the 40-point mark on this drive. They'll have it at the Ferrum 15. 3-receiver set. Short is in the gun. He'll have Jordan to his right. Short ready for the snap. Gets it. They'll try Jordan on the counter. Jordan gets to the inside the 15. He'll get about to the 13-yard line. And give credit where credit is due. The Ferrum defense has done a really good job against Jordan for the most part of this day.
They have, and they've given up yards. I mean,
here comes the flag, too.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, there's pushing and shoving going on there, and it's just frustration boiling over. But they have really bottled up Devonte Jordan today. I mean, he's rushed 26 times, and he's closing in on 150, but that's way below his average, 5.5 today. It's
an unsportsmanlike call is they pointed both ways.
Yeah,
they will offset. Yeah, you can kind of see that, Gary. You talked in the second quarter. You started seeing a little chippiness, in this one, and it's really starting to amp up a little bit.
And it starts on these kickoffs. Seems like it starts there, but then it just bleeds over to the offense and defense.
So we'll reset. It's 2nd down and about 8 for the Wasps at the Ferrum 13. 3:49 to go third quarter. Emory up 38-17. And they'll wind the clock. 3-receiver set. Short will be in the gun. Jordan to his right. Short ready for the snap. Play action. Short throws over the middle. And here comes flags, like you said, Gary, all over the place. And Gunnar Griffith looks like he was held again. Check Gunnar Griffith's uniform for tears at the end of this one.
They had so much of that jersey. That time they could have tied a knot in the back of it. But surely and 2 of them saw it. So that's going to put the ball first down inside the 10-yard line.
And Griffith draws another flag. They're going to say ineligible again against Emory and pass interference against Ferrum. That is the 3rd ineligible receiver downfield against Emory. That is, you don't normally see that. You only see that maybe once or twice.
You don't see it in the 10th game of the season.
No.
I mean, what it is you got 2 receivers that are lining up, covering one another up, and so one of them can't go out. But the linesman should be telling the receivers you're not on the line or you're on the line of scrimmage.
So wipe out that pass interference. And offsetting penalties brings up 2nd and 8 again from the 13. We'll try it again. 3 receivers set again. Short in the gun, Jordan to his right. They'll try Jordan on the counter. Jordan cuts back to the 10, gets inside the 10, puts his head down. He'll get it down to the 9, maybe the 8. It'll be a gain of almost 5. Brings up 3rd down and about 3.
Doa, and hoping they could close out the season, or the championship last week against Ferrum, and that they did. And Seth Stanley looks like is the injured Wasp out of Lebanon.
He's a junior, one of the Wasp long snappers, and favoring his right leg. Hope he's okay. being helped off by the Emory and Henry medical staff.
And in the fourth quarter of the last game of the season, he's a junior. He'll be back. Boy, you hate to see that.
So they reset. It'll be 1st and 10, Panthers from the 26. The give is going to be to Ellerby. Ellerby gets forward. Here comes a flag in again. What's new? He'll get it up to the 28-yard line. That's it. That may have been a face mask. I don't know. But in this game right now, we don't know. It's a gain of 2. Let's check the flag.
We're nearing 150 yards of penalties in the game total.
Ferrum pointing towards Emory, indicating that it's against the Wasps. And eventually the call will come in. It will be a face mask. So,
well, we just passed 150 because the Wasps now have 60 yards of penalties and 97 yards on the Panthers.
And with 11:58 still left in this one, too. Got a feeling we'll see a few more.
I don't think that's the last one.
So, first down pickup for the Panthers now, the 43. Jones drops back, looks left, throws left, in the crowd, and the pass is incomplete. That should be flags, too, and here they come. He was throwing to Penn, and he was absolutely tackled by Dalton Wilson at the 43. Every flag known to man was thrown there. I mean, it came from the back judge, side judge, referee.
Poor old Dalton. I think he leads the state in interference calls.
Boy, that was called by, I think, everybody on the field.
Yeah, well, it was about as obvious to you.
So back-to-back 15-yarders puts Ferrum already at the Emory 43-yard line. And they didn't have to do a whole lot to do it.
No, they didn't.
So 11:48 to go. Ferrum's got it in Emory territory after 2 penalties at the Emory 43. And Jones in the gun. They'll keep it on the ground. Short gain, maybe a yard, and Ivan Phillips, the first man there. Again, I think it was Ellerby. Here comes another flag.
Well, that one's on Ferrum.
My gosh. This game is really breaking down now.
This is unsportsmanlike on Ferrum.
A gain of 1, unsportsmanlike against Ferrum. That'll put them over 100. And, boy, this is really starting to get ugly right now.
Well, I hate to see a game with almost 200 yards of penalties, but we're fast approaching it. We just picked up 45 in the last 3 plays.
So back Ferrum goes into their own territory to the 43 and will reset. First down and now 24. And they'll wind the clock. Jones with 3 receivers. He'll throw on first down. Jones looks left, still rolling, throws to the left side. Pass is incomplete. And there are no flags on the play. We'll go to second down. All right.
DeAndre Chambliss, he was shot out of a cannon to get back there. He was in Titus Jones' face before he could get his feet set.
Yeah, Jones really had nowhere else to go, but once he got outside the pocket, the wise thing that he did there was just throw that ball away.
Jones averaging 252 yards a game passing. He's now at 101 for the day. Of course, the Wasps' pass defense is the best in the – if we were in a conference, it'd be the best in the conference, but really holding Jones down today.
That was second down. This is third down coming up for the Panthers. Jones rolls, throws off his back foot, and the pass is almost intercepted. And meanwhile, Ivan Phillips hits Jones down as soon as he lets it go nicely on the coverage down at the 35 of Ferrum.
Yeah, Ivan Phillips kind of pulled off there and just barely hit Titus Jones. I think the White Hat would have thrown a flag if he hadn't made an effort to avoid the contact.
So on fourth down, the Panthers will bring out the punting unit. And a good job of this Emory defense. They have only allowed the 1 touchdown since the half, and it was on a short field. And we're about to see another punt for the Panthers. Luckett set to kick. Not a whole lot of plays you can do on 4th and 25.
This is Luckett's 8th punt of the game.
Howard stands at his own 20. And we've got a whistle, and I think we've got a timeout. Yep, Ferrum calls the timeout. 11:22 to go in this one. And Ferrum getting ready to kick the ball back to Emory and Henry. Some final scores to report. Barton, a new member to the SAC, where Emory and Henry is going, they finished the year 6-5. They go to Wise today, and they win 36-24 in that one. Lenore Ryan, 56-3, all over Catawba today in that one. So Barton, you talk about Emory and Henry coming to this conference. We've got Barton and also Erskine coming into the conference as well. And Barton already with a win, over Wingate earlier in the year. Boy, you'd like to see Emory and Henry start off 6-5 next year at least in that conference.
Barton, east of Raleigh, about 50 miles, is going to be a long trip for the Wasp.
And we'll be right there to cover it. We'll be right there ready to go. And after the timeout, Luckett set for the punt. Snap is low. Luckett gets it away. Howard going to come and let that ball bounce, and he wisely gets out of the way of it.
Yeah.
And it rolls down at about the 9.
It's hard to see the ball right now because Howard just staring into the sun, and that sun is sitting low in the western sky right now. So after you come off of daylight savings time, a little bit later, that's a wise thing Howard did. Just let the ball go.
48-yard punt, no return, and the Wasps will come out 1st and 10 at their own 9, leading 41-17 with 11:10 to go.
Well, 8 punts for the Panthers last week. The Guilford Quakers punted 9 times. Kind of shows you kind of the way the defense is played. And
yeah, they've had a great run this year. Give us to Jordan, cuts up the middle of the field, had a burst there early, gets inside the 15, still going, and he's got a first down up to the 19, a gain of 10 for the senior, who has had just a fantastic year for this Emory and Henry Wasp team.
His longest run of the day, 13 yards. That's close to it right there.
And again, closing in on another 200-yard game. He will certainly be missed next year. He has had a fantastic year for Emory and Henry. 1st and 10 Wasps, they'll start at their own 19. Actually, after the first down, they'll have it at the 19, I should say. And it'll be Short who will go to the gun. Jordan to his left on 1st and 10. Short ready for the snap. They give us to Jordan. Jordan gets off right tackle, tries to get forward. He was staring at about 3 Panthers there as he got the football. He'll get 1 to the 20.
Not much room again. He's Devonte has now run the ball over 30 times and 161 yards, but it's been tough going, and 39 away. I know that Joe Matthews gave us some information about the 200-yard games, 4 in the season. Jordan needs 1 to get to that.
It's been tough going. Like you said, he's not had a whole lot of running room. It's been the grittiness that is Jordan to get yardage today. So it'll be 2nd and 9 coming up. Clock now under 10 minutes left in this one. And Emory up by 24. Short, the give is to Jordan. Off right tackle. Gets forward, gets past the 20, dives forward, fighting his way down to the 25-yard line. A hard run of 5.
And it would not surprise me if this might be his last series. If the
Yeah, he has you don't see a lot of 30-plus attempts anymore in any type of football.
And as we said earlier, he is decided not to play next year. So this is it for Devonte Jordan, and it's been quite an exciting season for him.
3rd and 4 coming up for the Wasps from their own 25. 9-10 and counting left in this one. Short in the gun, Jordan to his left. Play action. Short hit as he throws passes behind Griffith at the 34-yard line. Drew Hill had a lot to do with that. He was right in the face of Short. Short had to throw that a little bit sidearmed, and it falls incomplete, and the Wasps will have to punt.
Yeah, play action pass with that blitz by the linebacker. There just wasn't a lot of time.
Kurt Newsom wants to talk it over and wants to know why more time wasn't coming off the clock there. I think Coach Newsom may have wanted to run there some more clock.
Yeah, I think so too.
9:01 to go, and the Wasps will punt. Ferrum should get decent field position out of this. Caldwell stands at the 42. Muncie gets the snap and gets it away. End over end kick. Caldwell gets away from it last minute. Takes an Emory bounce inside the 35, inside the 30. And it'll roll dead at the 27-yard line. 48-yard punt by Muncie and no return. So the Panthers with 8:48 to go, they'll start from their own 27, trailing at 41-17.
You know, Josh, good crowd here today for the Wasp final game of the season. Given the weather and how cold it was, I wasn't sure there'd be this many people, but they've got a nice crowd here today. And Ferrum's traveled
They
well.
have, yeah. I was very impressed with how many folks made the trip today. It's now once that sun starting to disappear, it's getting really cold out there. So the Panthers will start 1st and 10 from their own 27. 4 receivers in this formation, and Jones is going to be in the gun. Ellerby to his right. Jones ready for the snap. Emory with 3 down linemen. They give us to Ellerby. Ellerby tries the left side. That's how he scored that run earlier. And he'll get almost 8 on 1st down, gets it up to almost the 35, maybe the 36. Ellerby,
nice
sophomore, I like him. I think he's going to be a big factor for them next year.
I think he is too. I mean, he runs hard. He has not gained that much yardage this year, only about 320 yards, but he's gained almost a third of that, probably more than a third of that today.
That's impressive given the defense he's going against too.
Yeah, this is not an easy bunch to run against.
2nd and 1 now for the Panthers at their own 36. Jones will throw on 2nd down. Jones under pressure. Jones getting chased. Jones is going to get rid of it barely, and he's actually being chased the whole way by DeAndre Chunbrus. That was close to grounding, but he got out of the pocket.
Are they going to discuss that? Because he did not get it back to the line of scrimmage. So they're going to discuss that. I think it's going to be grounding. You have to, even when you throw it away like that, it's got to be back to the line of scrimmage.
And no flag, at least at the moment.
Nope. Okay.
So Jones throws it away, no grounding, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 1 from the 36. Again, 4 wide, Jones in the gun. Jones is going to take off and run with it. Jones tries to get to the outside. Second effort, I think he got it. Yep, they'll give him the 1st down at about the 38. Not a whole lot of running room out there. Butler almost got to him, but it's a pickup of 2 and a 1st down. And the clock continuing to move here. We're under 8 minutes left in this one today. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Panthers at their own 38. Again, they'll keep the 4 wide out look. They'll probably keep this the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Jones in the gun, he'll throw. Jones under pressure, gets away. Jones zigs and zags his way up to the 43, showing his athleticism there. Gets away from a couple of defenders. He'll get 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, but this is really running the clock for the Panthers, so he did get yardage, but it's not the kind of yardage they want.
7:13 and counting. 2nd and 5 for the Panthers to turn 43. Jones drops back, slings it, pass is caught, short gain and short of the 1st down up to about the 46-yard line was, I believe, Caldwell. And Caldwell's about 2 yards short of the 1st down. Nice tackle out there by Nicely, and also converging was Crimes.
Yeah, Crimes, and also Brent Butler is in on that tackle. So bringing up another 3rd down. 3rd and short, thankfully, for the Panthers.
And we've got a stoppage of play. They'll restart the play clock. Again, they're keeping that on the field. Now they'll wind the clock. And with 6:40 left in this one, Panthers facing 3rd and 2. Jones in the gun. He'll throw. Jones looks left, throws left, pass is caught, 1st down into Emory territory. Nice job of blocking the defender was Daniel Lamb. Got in front of Crimes, and it's a paid gain of 7 and a 1st down.
Well, the Panthers have got to move down the field quicker than this. At this pace, they're not going to get the ball back enough times to erase a 24-point lead.
Jones drops back, looks deep right side, looking for Penn. Pass is caught by Penn inside the 20, inside the 10 against 2 defenders. And a big gain there from Jones to Penn. It's 1st and goal, Ferrum now at the Emory 10, gain of 37.
Yeah, be careful what you talk about or ask for, right? Because that's what we just got, a big play down the field.
Yeah, Jones just slung that down the field there and hits Penn, who looked back for it at the right point. And it's 1st and goal, Panthers at the Emory 10. Will be under 6 minutes left in this one before they snap the football. 3 receivers in the set now. It'll be Jones in the gun, Ellerby to his left. Jones, play action, throws over the middle, pass is caught for the touchdown. shades of what Emory and Henry has done all day. They go for the slant over the middle, and the pass is caught by, I believe, by Gray for the touchdown.
Well, that's the kind of lightning strike that you don't want if you're the Wasps. You want them to chew up clock moving down the field. But there in 2 plays, they take it 50 yards for a touchdown, make it 23, make it 24 with this extra point, 41-24. And they are going to kick it. They're not going to go for 2.
And it will be Deaton out for the PAT. First touchdown there since you got to go all the way back to the early stages of the third quarter. Jones to hold. High snap. Good job by Jones to get it down. Deaton's kick is no good. He missed it to the left. So it keeps it at a 41-23 game with 5:48, and you expect the onside kick to come up here for the Panthers.
Yeah, they've got the onside kick the ball here at 5:48, but they still have a 3-score lead for the Wasps, which means 3 possessions in this next 5 minutes and 48 seconds, which if we can make a first down, that should not be possible.
And so we've only seen a couple of, really have seen 1 or maybe 2 onside kicks, but we all remember the first one of the year, and that was against Bluefield, that really kind of got them going on that fourth quarter rally. So this is a big play by the Emory and Henry Hands team here.
Well, I think that was the onside kicks where Coach Newsom said we look like mannequins out there. We never moved on the ball. So I think they've worked on that, but any onside kick's dangerous, so go either way.
Emory and Henry expecting it. They've got 10 guys within about 10 yards, 10 to 15 yards of the ball. The only one back is Howard. And Clark set to kick.
Okay. Now we're right.
And let's see what the Panthers will do if they just elect to kick it deep. 41-23, Emory and Henry up, 5:48 to go. Clark looks over to the left side, and he's ready. Looks back over again, a third time, and here we go. Oh, he's going to kick it deep. Clark kicks it deep. Howard calls for the fairest catch wisely at the 8-yard line. So Emory and Henry will take over at their own 25-yard line with 5:48 to go, leading by 18.
Well, you know, they decide to kick it deep. I assume that's if they don't want to give the ball. If you don't get that onside kick, you give the ball to Emory deep in your own territory. Now, the defense may not be able to hold them.
Yeah, and you've also got you've also got 2 timeouts too. Remember, Ferrum had to burn one earlier in this quarter, so that they're going to rely on their defense to stymie Emory and Henry to try to get the ball back. And they've done a good job with Jordan so far. Even though Jordan's had 167 yards, they've kept him in check all game.
Gosh, yeah.
1st and 10 was from their own 25. And you figure Jordan's going to get a steady diet of it here. He will. Jordan gets to the right side, gets to the middle of the field, gets to the 30, and almost breaks it up to almost the 35. That would have been close to a first down. But when you have so many men up like that, if you get a crease, you might be gone, and Jordan was almost gone.
Yeah, you break that initial surge, and, boy, there's not much back there. And so Jordan almost – and he's had several like that today where he's just been one step away from breaking it.
Gain of 9 for Jordan brings up 2nd and 1 for Emory and Henry. The ball is resting on the 34. Clock will be close to 5 minutes left in this one before Wasps will have to snap the football. And again, Ferrum crowding the line there. They've got 10 guys almost in the box. Short ready for the snap. They give us to Jordan. Off left tackle's got a first down. That's all you need there.
Yeah,
Wasps
that's what you want right
forward
there.
there to about the 37. Holds on to the football. That's the other good thing, too.
It's gonna put him within about 20 yards of 200-yard game. And I got to say, if he gets the 200-yard, it's the toughest 200 yards he's gotten this season. Yeah,
the lowest output was 163. That was in game 1 against North Carolina Wesleyan. He's now past that.
And, you know, he was filling in for Overstreet, and you never thought that you were looking at someone who's going to run 10 straight games over 100 yards.
A testament to this Emory line, too. 1st and 10 Wasps from their Ferrum 37, 4:20 and counting. Short ready for the snap. They give us to – nope, Jordan's going to keep it. tries to get to the outside, now bounces inside, and he'll get a tough 2 yards to the 39, and the clock will continue to move.
Well, he's chewing up a lot of clock here. They took opening kickoff with 5:48 remaining. Woo.
And it'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for Emory and Henry, and the clock continuing to run down here. Under 4 minutes left in this one. And Devonte Jordan almost at 35 carries in this one. Wasp overall rushing the football. Now they're over 200 again as a team. 2nd and 8 now for the Wasps at their own 39. Short in the gun with Jordan to his right. The give is to Jordan, tries left tackle, goes to the left side, still going, and then he's finally ridden out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Tackled by Devin Hansen. He's actually now approaching in the game. Coach Joe Matthews pointing out the record for attempts in a game is 42 now.
So he's
Wayne Neese back in 1970 had that against Washington and Lee.
I saw that game.
Wow. You've seen them all, man.
Yeah.
You got it. Man, that's great. Timeout called for here by Ferrum. 3rd down and 7 coming up here for the Wasps. Ferrum down to 1 timeout.
Wayne Neese, I went to high school with him right up the road here at good old PH.
Yeah, and that page 41 of the Emory program, you're going to see a lot of Jordan out there next year on that program.
Jordan.
Yeah, it is just a testament to what he's done this year, and just as you mentioned, Gary, just a great running back, but an excellent person. Just a wonderful young man out there.
Yeah, he's got it all, and we wish him nothing but the best. He sure has brought some highlights to this 2021 season.
Jordan at 36 carries, 182 right now, and I would think he's probably going to get a 37th carry here on 3rd and 7.
And it may be his last carry as a Wasp.
Four receivers in this formation for the Wasps on 3rd and 7. Short in the gun with Jordan to his right. Do the Wasps throw it or they keep it on the ground? They're going to throw it. Short pump fake, looks to the left side, passes in and out of the hands. They were looking for Ethan Muncie out there, and Muncie is now slow to get up. And Ferrum enjoys that. That stops the clock.
Yeah, well, Muncie's their punter.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to come out.
Muncie had to be helped to the sideline. We're about to find out who Emory's backup punter is.
Well, their starting punter is already out, so Muncie is coming out.
It's going to be Marshall, Justice Marshall, coming out to punt. Boy, and you know Ferrum knows that. And I have a feeling Ferrum will come after this one. So 4th and 7. And the goal for Marshall is just to get the foot on the football and get it out of there.
Yeah, just get it away.
Marshall ready. Snap. Marshall catches it and gets it away off the side of his foot. Well, he got it away all right, and it's picked up by a lineman alertly at the 37 and down to about the Emory 33-yard line. Nice play there by the lineman, trying to see who that is for Ferrum, but that was a 5-yard punt. And Ferrum's going to take over at the Emory 33 with 3:02 to go.
Thank goodness for Parker Coe, because he recognized that and made the tackle. If he hadn't made that tackle, the ball would have been deep in the Emory territory. It may have been a touchdown.
So with 3:02 to go, Ferrum still with the pulse, trailing 41-23. They've got 3:02 left and a very short field.
This game is, over the years, has taken on so many bizarre twists.
Yeah, that was definitely a bizarre one there. I hope Muncie's okay. 1st and 10 Panthers at the Emory 32. They jump off sides, and Chambliss does the right thing there. Instead of letting Jones have a free play, he just stood in the backfield and waited. Chambliss was like, throw the flag, I'm back here. You don't want to give Jones a free play. So it's a 1st and 5 coming up now for the Panthers at the Emory 27. So the Panthers, with 3:02 to go, they still have a timeout left.
Well,
and they'll go from that 1st and 5.
We're 9 yards shy of a 200-yard penalty game.
Jones in the gun, and Actually, Jones on a throw. Jones off his back foot, looks to the corner of the end zone, passes in and out of the hands.
Oh, no.
Here comes the flag in the end zone.
Well, there goes the 200.
Pass was intended for Nick Cook. He and Payne were hooked up. Payne knocked it away, but it looks like this is going to go against him in the end zone. Jones there ran to the right side, threw off his back foot. He had one-on-one coverage out there with Cook against Payne. And this is going to go against Emory and Henry, whether it's going to be holding or interference. Still 2:57 left in this one. No signal yet. It will be interference. And the penalty yardage continuing to pile up.
The Wasps now have 91 yards, and the Panthers have 112, so we're over the 200 mark for penalties, and that's it just makes it a sloppy game. A lot of these penalties have been foolish ones out of frustration, but I bet we've seen 5 interference penalties today.
Be a first down pickup for the Panthers. They'll have it at the Emory 13. Receivers to either side. One back to the right side of Jones. Jones drops back to throw. Jones looking, under pressure, rolls left, still rolling. Now he's going to take off and then he gets pushed out of bounds by Butler at about the 13, I believe. And here comes another flag, Gary, thrown by the umpire.
That was a really late flag.
So no gain by Jones, but let's check this flag. This was thrown after the play was over. It's going to be unsportsmanlike on somebody. And one coach is about to blow their gasket right here. Who will it be?
I think it's against Ferrum.
It's going to be against Ferrum again. Wow. It's going to be against Titus Jones. It's going to be the quarterback. Guilty. I don't know if he was taunted or he threw the ball at an Emory player. I'm not sure. But he's guilty of the unsportsmanlike, so that backs up Ferrum to the Emory 25.
Well, that's yeah. Whew.
And with 2:50 to go, it's second down and about almost 21. Jones drops back, throws deep right side. Pass is caught by Penn, and then he's pushed out of bounds at about the 14. Wilson pushing him out of bounds. They'll actually mark him back at the 15. Gain of about 10 brings up third and about almost 11.
Well, we continue this man coverage on Penn, and he's just shown the second half. He only had 2 catches in the first half, but he's shown that he can get away from Dalton Wilson.
Third down and a long 10. 4 receivers in the set for Jones. Jones drops back to pass. Jones under pressure. Under pressure, he's going to go down in the backfield by the 5th-year senior DeAndre Chambliss. Drops him at the 23.
Fitting way to end your career, Mr. Chambliss, with a sack in the waning minutes of the final game of the season.
And the Panthers down to their last play with under 2 minutes and counting.
Surely the Wasps will back up, pull off this man-to-man coverage and just zone it all the way back. Nope, we're not going to do it.
4th down, and we'll call it 4th and 19 for the Panthers at the Emory 23. 4 receivers set for Jones.
Yeah,
Jones drops back. Jones slings it towards the end zone. He overshoots his man. It's incomplete. He was looking for Penn. Overshoots him, and Emory and Henry will take over on downs with 1:37 to go.
Well, that time we did back up into a zone coverage and just know where to throw it. We had more people back there than they did. And
Emory and Henry takes over with 97 seconds left when what this second half has seemed like an eternity.
Well, yes, when you have 220 yards worth of penalties, it will take a little while. Time you get all that laundry off the field.
So Emory and Henry comes back out. Short will come back out with Jordan, and Wasps are going to go into the best formation in football when you're winning, and that will be the victory formation.
As the crowd begins to gather up their blankets and earmuffs.
Short, he'll have to take a couple of snaps here. He'll take a knee with 1:35 and counting. Win will put the Emory and Henry finishing the 2021 season at 6-4 overall, Ferrum will also finish at 6-4 overall in the final installment of the Crooked Road Classic.
And the trophy will stay in the Brooks Fieldhouse, and I don't know that Cleve Adams will even call a timeout.
Yeah, with 1:08 to go, 2nd and 10 coming up here, down 18. I think Emory here just going to be able to, as you say that,
Come on,
we've got a
Cleve.
stoppage of play. Nope, that's actually an official timeout. I'm not sure why. The official timeout is called for. Actually, I think they may have ejected a fan or somebody. Yep, they've ejected somebody off the field. He's walking towards the brick of the field house. So that was the reason for the stoppage of play. Yep.
And I'm not sure who that fan or who's he is a fan of.
Not sure. Have no clue, but he's certainly taking his time walking off, if that is the call. And they'll reset the play clock. I'm not sure there. I don't know if they've been ejected or not. They've been asked to move. Anyways, 2nd and 11. Well, we talk about, we've seen it all. We've seen roughing the snapper, and we've seen all kinds of plays. And
we've seen fans ejected.
I'm not sure. Now that we think about it, I don't think he's been ejected. This looks like he just was asked to move. So clock is on the move, 45 seconds and counting. Wasp will only have to take a knee, should have to take a knee one more time. And we'll reach 3rd down. And depending on when the play clock starts on the field, Emory might have to take one more snap on the field, may not. They might have to. I think that's why Short and company are staying out on the field for one more play. And Emory and Henry, nice way to end the season, winning 2 games to end the season after just 4 very crushing losses in this campaign by 8 points. But Emory and Henry will win their final game in Division III as they win the game today over Ferrum. The final score, it's Emory and Henry 41, Ferrum 23.
Well, and the Wasps come out with a lackluster start in that 3rd quarter, but then they pick it up and put points on the board and close this one out for a victorious 6-4 season. I certainly would hate to have seen this come out as a 5-5 season, but
yeah, and that was one thing that I thought about, and with the win, Coach Newsom, 6th winning season out of 8 in his time here at Emory and Henry, and the Wasps now winners of 4 straight in the Crooked Road Classic, and the 4th one to end this one today. These teams greeting each other for the final time, and Gary, the Division III journey is now complete officially.
Yep, we are officially no longer Division III, and we leave the ODAC. As I said, sad to see us leave the ODAC, but I think we got some exciting times coming with the SAC conference. Be interested to see if Mars Hill finishes off a really good season when they were not picked to be very good whatsoever, and see if they can win that SAC. And, just watching people leave the stands, a good crowd here at Fred Self Stadium. The Wasps are averaging over 4,000 fans per game, which exceeds the SAC average conference attendance by about 1,800, which is, to me, I think that's an amazing number for the Wasps.
Yeah, and that includes 2 weeks ago in just a horrible weather conditions here in that one against WNL, and not great ones here today. But I tell you, both of these schools, both Emory and Henry and Ferrum, they love their football, and they will come out. And we certainly wish Ferrum all the best. I think they're going to have a great year in 2022 in the ODAC. And I tell you, partner, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this new journey next year and to see what it holds.
Yeah, I am too. It's as we've gone through the season, we've tried to keep an eye on that SAC conference. One of the things that I know you've done, I have myself, kind of look at some of the places we're going to go play next year, and some of those facilities are going to be some pretty special places to play. I mean, the Lenore Ryan Stadium is just outstanding, and so Mars Hill has a really nice complex, and so it's going to be interesting to see how the Wasps travel to some of those places. For myself, this is going back to what we used to. I mean, we played Newberry, Mars Hill, Catawba, Carson Newman. We played a bunch of these schools, and along with some of the ODAC schools. So we're not a stranger to that, and so it'll be interesting to see how we fare in that new conference.
Yeah, and we'll be heading that way. And like I said, speaking of which, you've got Tusculum that's beating Carson Newman today. Those are two opponents that'll be on the schedule next year. Barton, which will be on the schedule for next year, even though they're in the other division. Wise, another team, will be in the schedule, and also Lenore Ryan, Catawba. So a lot of things, a lot of new faces and whatnot going forward. But today, good showing by Emory and Henry. Again, Gary, how many times do we have to talk about this defense for Emory and Henry today? I mean, they really, I think Jones, this may have been one of his worst games of the season today.
I think you're right. I mean, Ellerby was certainly a surprise, but Jones just not having a very good game. 169 yards, 14 of 30, not a very good average right there. And for a guy that's averaging 252 yards a game, that's not one of his better ones.
No, and again, he scrambled most of the game. Ellerby really was the star for Ferrum. He had 186 total yards, had 112 on the ground, and 74 receiving. Had 2 touchdowns for them that kept them in it early. And then really that second quarter, Wasp pitched a shutout defensively. In the third quarter, Wasp did not have a breakdown on that. They didn't have a breakdown at all, as we've seen in the past few years. That third quarter has been the bugaboo. It got to 23-17 there, but Emory and Henry got it right back, scored, and then really from there just kind of accelerated and kind of made it, I wouldn't say a blowout, but a very comfortable win late.
Well, it got to be a little tenuous there. Got winning 23-17. We go out and do nothing first series, and then they go down and score and make it, and it looks like here we go again, one of these shootouts to the very end. But the defense stiffened up, and then the offense got going the next 2 series, and put some points on the board and kind of shut them out. But Devonte Jordan, I keep calling his name out, but 183 yards on 36 carries, Josh. It was a tough go for him today. I really think this is the toughest 82 yards he gained all year.
Yeah, 5.1 average on the carry. Longest carry was 13 yards. So it wasn't 20 here, 30 here. It was 5, 6, 2, 3. I mean, it was tough yardage the whole way. But just a great effort for him again today. Just a fantastic effort. And guys that we talked about Ellerby, guys that had big games today. Justice Marshall, 6 catches for 77 yards, and Jamarn Ford, 5 catches for 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, and would have had a third had it not been called back on a penalty with a pass, a beautiful pass to Griffith that was called back on penalty. But Gary Wasp, 6 of 13 on third down conversions. Really like to see that conversion, and they were 7 of 9 at one, or excuse me, 6 of 8 at one point.
Yeah, they were up to 75% at one point in the game, and I think that third quarter did them in again on that. But they were churning it out on third downs, and you just like to see all those receivers again. 4 different receivers. Kyle Short hit, and he looked good at times today. He looked really good.
Yeah,
threw a couple of interceptions. The one in particular, Gunnar Griffith, was just unnecessary. One of them was tipped. That was the other one. But it's going to be interesting to see how these quarterbacks mature over the offseason, because they're going to be having to put in quite a bit of time. And I am sure with going into Division II, we're going to have some different faces coming onto the campus,
right.
And putting on an Emory Henry uniform. So some work to be done in the off season, but we'll see what we can bring in. I know I talked to Coach Newsom, and he's really very pleased with the recruiting efforts so far.
Yeah.
For next year. So.
And Parker Coe, one of the seniors, holding the Crooked Road Trophy as he's come out of the locker room with it. And as you mentioned, Gary, it'll stay right here. It'll stay right here for the 4th straight year. So Parker Coe, one of many seniors on this team, and Emory Henry's got a couple of 5th years as well that, boy, you can talk about it 20 years, 30 years from now. You can always say, I won my last college game, and not everybody can say that.
No, you can, and it's funny how that last game you play, you have a lot of things that you remember about it, and it's just so nice to be able to finish off the season with a win here, and against a good Ferrum team.
Yeah.
Coming in here at 6-3, thought they were going to be able to go 7-3. I'm sure after playing W&L last week to the wire, they felt like they could come here and get another victory, but this is, the Wasp. It's 6-4. Okay, that we have a winning season, but it's still been a disappointing season because those 4 losses by 8 points.
Yeah.
Will stick in everybody's craw all through the off season.
Yeah, and how close the Wasps were, to being anywhere from 8-2 to 10-0, in this season.
Yeah, I mean that very easily. I mean, and we're not talking about. I mean, last second field goals to lose 2 of them, and you lose at Randolph-Macon on an interference call, and then you lose the other one on another call. So it's just been it's 4 difficult losses, but I'm sure a lot of these seniors, I see them down there taking pictures with each other, and that's special too. And
sure. Yeah, and I think they're going to do a special presentation of the trophy here. And they've announced it here that holding the Crooked Road Trophy there as well. So Wasps with 452 yards of total offense, held Ferrum to 260 yards overall. And, Ferrum came into this one.
Well, they're averaging almost
500 yards. Yeah,
yeah,
they had 504 in this one. I beg your pardon. It's they were coming in, averaging, almost 400 yards a game,
yeah,
like you said, and 260 well below their average. And again, this is Emory defense. 4 out of 6 in third down, 4 out of 16 in third down conversions, and the Wasps held the ball for 36 minutes in this one.
36 minutes. That's a long time for the Wasps to hold the football. And you mentioned defense. They never. I don't think Titus Jones, the Ferrum quarterback, was ever comfortable the whole day long. It seemed like the pressure got to him, and I don't think he was comfortable all day.
No, and it's a good way, certainly a good way to go out. Good way to go out, and like you said, Gary, it's a good way to go out. But you think about, you go back to those 4 losses, what might have been, here overall. But with that being said, the Division III campaign and the years of being in the ODAC now officially closed. And my friend, we go to the South Atlantic Conference, and we pick up some new teams to most. Folks who have been through the Smoky Mountain Conference, it's kind of a reuniting of teams, so to speak. And I look forward to being there with you, going through that, and get a chance to go into places like Greenville and Wilson, North Carolina, and Newberry, South Carolina. It's
Salisbury, North Carolina.
It's a brand new world, and we'll be right there with you the whole way.
I think Limestone and Gaffney and South Carolina. I think that's the home of Stephen Colbert. So
it'll be a wonderful journey that way. And so we want to thank all of you for tuning in this year to Emory and Henry College football. It's always a happy day when you can win. It's also a solemn day, as well, because this will be your final game of the season. But it's good to go out a winner. We want to thank all of our underwriters this year. We want to thank Snow's Fine Meats, Tumbling Creek Cider, First Bank and Trust, Food City, Greco's, and the Bank of Marion. We couldn't have done this without you. We really appreciate all of those underwriters. Please support your underwriters, your local underwriters. They do a lot to support Emory and Henry football and do a wonderful job in the community. And certainly they would appreciate your patronage, and we would certainly appreciate that as well. I want to thank Ivy Shepard, the general manager for WEHC. I always want to thank Bill McKee. You can't have a broadcast with having a board operator. We wouldn't be on the air at all. So Bill is with us for all 10 games, just keeps us steady and does a great job of being on the board, as well as his shows as well on WEHC. We want to thank David St. Clair for the halftime shows this year. I want to thank Joe Matthews, the Sports Information Director for Emory and Henry. I want to thank Gary Holden this week, the Assistant Director of Athletics and the Sports Information Director and Assistant Compliance Director, and also Cleve Adams, the head football coach at Ferrum College. And I would be remiss if I wanted to thank my wonderful wife, Kathy, and also I want to thank my partner in crime, Gary Lester, for all of his work on Keys to the Game and all of his work in the broadcast, buddy. This has been it's hard to believe that we're at week 10, but it just seems like it flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, it sure does. And, Josh, I want to thank you for doing such a great job of quarterbacking this operation and keeping us between the lines. I've enjoyed working with you. It's been a delight. I'm sorry to see the season end, but all things must come to an end. But I really have enjoyed it, and I appreciate your professionalism and what you bring to the broadcast.
And we want to thank all of you for listening to Emory Henry College football, whether it was one game or the whole 10 Saturdays, however you're listening to us this fall. We do appreciate you all listening to Emory Henry College football. We want to thank you for tuning in to Gary's Keys to the Game broadcasts as well. And with that, we bid a fond adieu to Division III and a long-awaited welcome to Division II. Here we come. And Gary and I look forward to being a big part of that transition in 2022 with the broadcast right here on 90.7 WEHC, the voice of Southwest Virginia. For Gary Lester, I'm Josh Floyd saying so long from Fred South Athletic Stadium's Nice Wander Field for the final time in 2021. The final score from today, it's Emory and Henry 41, Ferrum 23. We'll talk to you in 2022. So long, everybody.